night, screens glowing blue. Got the facts in my headlights, Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺cie and 𝗲𝗟𝗃, I'ma read them like Psalms. 𝗵𝗵𝗲 throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 𝗬𝗏. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding and the reckoning gon' come. 𝗲𝗟𝗃 in the back room, 𝗺cie on the phone, trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, guys. We just all down to the city blocks. We just riding slow, guys.
My name's Aidan Kearney,
known online as
Turtleboy, and is a senior editor for
tvdailynews.com.
They call me
Turtleboy.
It's my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. Timothy Kearney.
The one and only Turtleboy.
Turtleboy. What's up, Slick? The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's quite the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtleboy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here.
You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy. People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. Yo, what's up, people? How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good, excellent. Happy special hump day. Live celebration here. You guys might notice I'm not in the Turtleboy studios. I'm actually at my ex-wife's house right now because they're at cheer weekend. And so, and I have no bed at my house for my son because I'm in the middle of moving. So here we are. We're doing it here. And I didn't feel like putting up a green screen. So no, this is not a new house. This is my old house. I used to live here. I don't own it anymore. I gave it up. But I'm probably gonna do my first show from the new crib on Saturday night. I think Saturday night's gonna be the night. Sleep there and everything. I think we're ready to do this. We're about moving ready. I just keep getting boxes every day. More and more shit in the Amazon wish list. It's great. Every time I get one of these boxes, I come here and I'm like, this is gonna make so many people mad. And I love it. I love how mad they get. And they're really mad today. They are really mad today because you know, it was another great day for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She's exonerated. She's going to be acquitted. It's like, no doubt. It's like the most obvious acquittal ever. And I think what makes them mad a lot is that, like, yeah, she likes when I'm there. Like that. That's what really makes them mad about it, is that, like, they really wanted her. Oh, Turtleboy's too toxic. Don't they know about the recording? Don't they know about the videos? Don't they know about this? You know what I mean? Don't they know? Don't they? Don't. Nah, turns out she doesn't care, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. So there's that. Anyway, so it's going to be good. It's going to be great. So if you guys are new here, my name's Aidan Kearney. This is my award-winning show. I go by a variety of nicknames, up to and including Timothy Kearney. That's my journalism name. You can call me Journalism Jesus. That's my spiritual name. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy. You can call me just regular Turtleboy. You can call me Dr. Turtleboy is my preferred pronoun because if Judd Welch is a doctor, then so am I. Hell, you can call me daddy if you like. I like it when people call me daddy. For some people, it might be weird. For others, it might be fun, flirtatious, playful, whatever. You can call me different kinds of daddy: crowd daddy, theater daddy, brow daddy, daytime daddy, drama daddy, formerly drama-free daddy, saint daddy, media daddy, and of course, fridge daddy, or all sorts of appliances, not just fridges anymore. Any appliance you want, I'll fix that shit. Just got to shake it. Hold on. Anyway, these are long days. I feel like I'm back at trial again. And, you know, back in the Reed days. That's what it feels like there. Back and forth, but I don't miss it. Like, it's like, I miss it. I like it, but I don't like I like working out every day and shit like that. Can't do that. I have to get Maureen on. I have had no time. Like, I'm so busy, especially with the moving going on and other shit going on behind the scenes too, that we're going to get to, that we're not going to talk about right now, but it's crazy shit. But, porn daddy. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's just fucked up. But anyway, as I was saying, I forgot my Pew stash. I forgot to bring it. Justin didn't. That was a big hit last night, but he didn't go today. And we're going to talk all about today momentarily, and we're going to talk about tomorrow. But yeah, Maureen did the Dr. 𝗲𝗏. That was, yeah. Can anybody get me Maureen's contact? And she's on Facebook. You can't hear me? What do you mean you can't hear me? Is this person being for real? I don't know. My volume is very low. Hold on. Am I not close enough? Hold on. Let me see what that's like. Oh, this is. I don't know. I feel like I can hear me fine. Yeah, I don't know why you guys insist on being weird like that. It's very distracting when people do that. So don't do that. You can hear fine. Just, there's a thing called volume. Just fucking turn it up. Don't be that guy in the chat who fucks in my head. Don't be that guy. Anyway, yeah, everyone's like, you can hear you fine. Yeah. Anyway, and I'm uncomfortable. I don't have my like normal chair here. We'll see. Anyway, if you guys want your messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. When you do that, you can pay whatever you want, say whatever you want, and I will read your message out loud to the class as they come in. Let's see if we have any right now. Today is the 25th, I think. We got one. We got one from Lexi here. All right. Lexi sends $10 and says, you know, Turtle, I hope during the custody and RO hearings, someone asks these frenemies of Kelsey's why they didn't go hang out with Kelsey and the baby that day, since they were just so concerned she would hurt the baby, especially Timu Amanda Bynes, who was supposed to meet up with Kelsey that day. Instead, she goes to Hunter's for an affidavit party and conspire against her. I know. even if I actually hated someone, if I was legitimately scared for the baby, I would just go to make sure nothing happened to him. What a bunch of bitches. Okay. What a bunch of bitches. Exactly. So, let's see what else we have. Do we have any other ones here? And we're going to get all to that tonight when we go through Fat Amanda Bynes and her testimony. We got the Albert Family Rock. The Albert Family Rock sends 10 smackaroos and says, thank you for being an important part of the independent media that Maureen mentioned today and shining light on the abuses of the court system. Can I message Maureen right now? I want Maureen on the show back. Can we get her on tonight? Can I get her on tonight? Anybody know? Does Maureen like me? Is she a turtle? She mentioned Crawford in her testimony, which is like, she might not like me if she likes Crawford. I hope not. I hope she does like me. But I love Maureen very much. What does she go by on Facebook? I can just go to the let's see. I want to get Maureen on bad. I need her on. I haven't had time to like get her on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what she goes by. I'll go to the Justice for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Okay. And then I will search for Maureen on here. Where's her post? No, I don't see it. Justice for Kelsey. All right, there we go. There's two groups, apparently. A fun group and a not so fun group. Let's see. Maureen. Let's see. She comes up. Is she Maureen Fitzpatrick? No. Anybody know what she goes by on Facebook? Of course, the enemies have this, so some of us might. Maureen Sullivan, she goes by. She doesn't go by that on Facebook, does she? She's in bed? I don't know. I got to get Maureen on. I need to interview Maureen. I need to speak to her immediately because she's awesome. I love Maureen. But does anyone out there know Maureen's Facebook name? How does the prosecution know Maureen's Facebook page and no one in the chat knows? No one in the chat knows. Nobody knows? Let's see. What's the chat say? Maureen Sullivan. That wasn't what she was on Facebook, though. I saw the name. Krusty had it. All right. Do I need to go find this? Jesus Christ, guys. Hold on. All right. I saw it earlier. Of course, Krusty has it. Let's see. What's the... Oh, that's not it. Is this it? Nope. No, you're right. It is Maureen Sullivan 𝗺𝗏𝗄𝗎. You're right. You're right. You guys are right. Okay, I got to find her real quick. Hold on. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. All right, get out of that. Maureen Sullivan. 𝗺𝗏𝗃𝗃, T-O-R-I. How do you spell that? There she is. Okay. She is a resist. Hi, Maureen. Great job today. It was great. I'll start off slow. Great job today. Schmooze my way in. Schmooze my way in. Let's see. Got her. I found her. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see if she answers. All right. She's not going to come on. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? She was awesome. The north end of her mom's page. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. All right. Let me see if we have any other turtle chats. Yeah, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 sends $5 and says, love you, Turtle Boy. Can we please grab a beer on Saturday at Quinn's or Seven Saws? My treat. It's going to be tough. I got my kid Saturday by myself. He doesn't really like breweries. But maybe we'll see. Got to be tough. Yeah, I also have my show Saturday night, big show coming up, and I got a lot going on Saturday, but perhaps. So, Let's see what we have here. Any cash apps here? No, nothing. Okay, cool. All right. We'll check one more time for Turtle Chats. I don't want to miss anyone. We're good. If anyone else wants their messages read, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat or Cash App your boy at $Uncle_Turtleboy, and we'll do it that way. Let's jump right in. All right. So we're going to continue where we were yesterday with this douchebag's testimony because we got a lot to get to. So let's just jump right in. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's talk about Santa BLT here.
Is this the?
Oh, it's the white. Yes.
All right.
Is that where you put the firearm?
On top of that.
Now let's look at
That's exhibit what?
75 round.
Thank you.
So let's talk about who touched the firearm. So Daly picks up the firearm, right?
Yes.
And the firearm was under Kelsey's leg, correct?
I don't know where it was. I was covering down. I didn't. I know he flipped her over
Covering down.
and found the weapon. I don't recall where it was.
Okay. You heard. Strike that. So your testimony is that Kelsey's racking the gun, sidestepping, backpedaling, tap rack, and at some point she points the gun at you, right?
Her arm started to come up towards me.
Okay. So it's fair to say that she's back again, like we said earlier. She's starting to do this, right?
No Weaver stance.
Okay. So one hand.
It was.
Is that the FBI crouch?
Oh, God.
What do you call that? Is it,
A one-handed.
no, it's not called the FBI crouch.
I've never heard that term.
Okay. So she starts to point the gun at you. So we agree then that the gun is out in front of her, right?
It was in the upward position. It was coming up towards me. When I fired my second round, I saw her kind of buckle and she lowered her weapon and I stopped shooting and then she went to the ground.
You hit her in the chest. She goes flying back and lands on her back, right?
She didn't go flying back.
She landed on her back, correct?
She went down to the ground. I don't know which way she went. I think she crouched over.
Well, you knew she was on her back, didn't you?
I don't remember. As far as that goes, that's kind of a blur.
So the idea that she's got the gun out in front of her, she falls on her back. If the gun's underneath her, is this some sort of a magic gun?
I don't know where
I
to
love
get
this
that.
part.
Doesn't it make sense that if the gun is out here and she receives a force of a 9mm bullet pushing her back this way, how does the gun get all the way behind her and under her leg?
I have no idea. It's the way she fell.
Oh, right.
So back to the notion of who touches the gun. Daly picks up the gun, right?
Yes.
Daly puts it on the bed, correct?
Yes.
And you don't like that.
I don't. It's too close to her.
Well, she's sitting there with a gunshot wound to her chest with you there and Daly there. Isn't that fair to say?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then you touch the gun, right?
I do.
And then you move it to the white bookshelf.
Yes.
And then Core arrives. And
Yes.
then you tell Core to grab the gun and secure it, right?
I do.
And then Core has it. Does he take it into the hallway?
Maybe. I remember just focusing my attention on Kelsey.
Sure, understandable. So you're focusing on Kelsey and you're giving her first aid.
Yes. Well, Lieutenant Daly was starting to work on her.
Is it fair to say that at first you still had your gun on her, but then you helped with the first aid?
Yes. Afterwards.
So that was your primary focus, was that once you felt that she was not a threat to you on your testimony, you started to assist with the first aid, right?
Yes.
And you and Daly are rendering first aid, and then Core comes, right?
Yes.
And you say, get that out of here, secure the gun.
Yep. Make it safe.
Okay. So it's fair to say that Core does that, but your attention is not on what he's doing, it's on rendering first aid, right?
That's correct.
So you don't have any knowledge or observation of what Core did with the firearm, right?
No.
At some point, are you aware that Core takes the green safe and the firearm
Hold on.
out into the hallway?
Yeah.
51. She lunged, right?
That's right.
Is that how it looked when she lunged over there?
I didn't. See
I
that.
mean, just look at this. Look at this. Again, I'm surprised Bradel didn't bring this up. How the fuck does she fit between these two things? Where does she go? The brown hutch with the gun is right here. And then you got this right here. Okay. This room is not very big. How did she get out of his field of vision? And then she just jumped out and was like, yo, surprise bitches. What up with that? I got the drop on you mofos. And she's like, oh, and then she goes to shoot him and it's like, click. Nothing happens. And he's just like, well, Kelsey, please stop. Kelsey, please stop being a crazy bitch trying to kill me. Please stop. That makes no sense at all. You would tackle her. You would fuck anybody, and anyone with any instincts would tackle her.
When I was in the hallway.
Do you know anything about that shoebox with the orange lining?
I have no idea.
Do you remember seeing that chest with the brown leather trim on it?
I thought it was an end table when I walked out of the room.
Do you think that the gun came from any of those areas there?
With how quick she grabbed it, I think it came from that box, but I don't know.
Here's the 36. Box that Kelsey was quickly grabbing a gun and putting it in your face,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you
Absolutely.
that she'd gotten the drop on you, right?
Yes,
And at that point,
She got
you
the drop on you.
feared for your life, you say, right?
absolutely.
And
Welcome new members.
and you shot her.
Thank you.
Well, you missed her from just a few feet away.
It's hard to shoot a moving target or anything moving.
Oh, it's so hard. Anything moving.
Are you aware of the Post Commission?
Yes,
Moving where? Like where? There's only so many places she can move in that. Oh, she's dodging bullets. Oh, she's dodging bullets. What is happening? Oh, yeah, it's so hard to hit a moving target. Sure it is.
And you know that the Post Commission has issued regulations that are in the Code of Massachusetts Regulations.
oh yes,
And you know that it's prohibited to use deadly force on a person who is exhibiting a danger only to themselves.
absolutely.
And you knew that on June 30th, 2025, didn't you?
I've known that since I graduated the police academy in 2006 or even before.
Right. And you went in there
Yep.
thinking that Kelsey was dangerous and had guns and you might get into it, right?
That's inaccurate.
And that's why you had your gloves on.
It's inaccurate.
No.
You were ready to get wet.
No,
What?
I'm sorry, ready to get what? Get wet, Your Honor.
Oh, she's really. Oh, he was
And
that
that's what
wet.
you do with Justin Aaron, isn't that true?
no,
So you're going to maintain that you got into a gunfight with somebody who was your colleague, right?
yes,
So he is asking that because he's like, well, you know that it's against post commission rules to shoot somebody who's suicidal, and you knew she was suicidal, and you knew that you weren't supposed to shoot, and that's why you're making this up. He's making it. He's without saying it. He's giving the judge. He's putting in the judge's head, right? That he's just saying this because he knows, right? So Bradle got him there. He got him. He doesn't realize he got him, but he got him.
Who had just given you her baby to feed 5 minutes earlier
yes,
of her own volition.
yes,
She developed some sort of a homicidal animus towards you for what Justin Elaine just did to her.
Yes.
I don't think it was unbeknownst to me. I didn't know Justin was in the house.
I didn't.
I think I was standing in her way for her
I didn't know Justin was in the house.
to get downstairs and kill Justin.
Again,
For what
this is
Justin
insane.
Elaine just did to
This
her,
was the
right?
this was the moment.
I don't think it was unbeknownst to me. I didn't know Justin was in the house. I think I was standing in her way for her to get downstairs and kill Justin.
That was new. That was the big takeaway from yesterday. That I was standing in the way for her to get to Justin. She just wanted to kill Justin. She just wanted to get down there and kill Justin. He was just in the way. Are you kidding me? I mean, that the theater that this guy just added, that alone is going to free Kelsey Fitzsimmons right there, because that makes the story even less believable. Makes even less like that's a new twist. It's a new twist he just added right there.
I assume this is in hindsight.
Hindsight, yeah.
Figure one more, please, Your Honor. Did you have a taser?
I did.
Did you think maybe to use the taser when she pulled the trigger and the gun didn't go off?
No. You mean deadly force with deadly force?
She's 3 feet away from you?
Yes.
Could have just grabbed her, couldn't you?
No.
Oh, there you go. Why not? Why couldn't you grab her? Why not? Why couldn't you just grab her, Santa? Come on.
And if there was deadly force, you wouldn't have stopped at 2 shots, would you? You would
I
empty that magazine right into her.
I stopped when she stopped. And that's what I'm trying to do. Stop the threat, not empty a mag.
What were some of the things that she asked you to bring downstairs?
I think there was a basket of books, and I believe some clothes. I think she put them in a car seat.
What did you say to her when she asked you to bring them downstairs?
I said, we'll deal with that later, and I put them down.
What was her reaction?
She just kept packing stuff.
Just kept packing stuff up. Yeah.
Department. So you said that you were you started your career in the North Andover Police Department, correct?
That's correct.
And you left for the Lawrence Police Department in what year?
2011.
And then you were on the SWAT team from 2019 to 2024, correct?
That's correct.
And that you left North Andover to get a faster pace, right? What do you mean by faster pace?
Busier. Are you talking about when I left North Andover to go to Lawrence, or
yes,
a busier atmosphere?
more action,
More calls for service.
More action. More
What, I'm
action.
sorry?
Calls for service.
Calls for service.
She's being like, you're trigger happy. You think you're fucking Rambo. That's why you left North Andover to go to Lawrence. Like, you went to Lawrence because Lawrence has, as Mr. 𝗃𝗏𝗃 pointed out today, more criminality to it. And so, I mean, Lawrence is a piece of shit hellhole, like a high crime infested hellhole. Like, if you've ever been there, it's fucking shitty. And this guy's like, I like fucking action. So I went there and I'm fucking Rambo. That's what 𝗃𝗏's getting at there. So you're basically, you think you're Rambo.
I wanted more experience.
And you were there for how long?
In Lawrence?
Yeah.
From 2011 to 2024.
2024, you go back to North Andover, correct?
Yes.
And you said that you wanted to bring your training and experience back to where it all started, right?
Yes.
Meaning you wanted to offer officers at North Andover the benefit of your training and experience, right?
Correct.
I went to the ghetto. I'm
You
experienced.
said that the owners of a busy urban department wanted to grace the department with your training and experience,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
This guy's so full of himself.
Um,
All right. So then they go to sidebar. Then we take a break for a while, long break. And that brings us to this part.
here, because they've been assisting us with various.
New lawyers.
Is what we were, the comment that I deferred ruling on, which is paper 62, Commonwealth's motion to eliminate to.
How good is this judge, by the way?
regarding
This
current
judge is
duty
great.
status. Mr. 𝗃𝗏𝗃, let me just start by paraphrasing what I think the three areas are. Strike that. Officer Noonan allegedly was placed on administrative. Well, let me say this, is I stand by what I said. The Commonwealth argues that these areas or these questions, strike that, that there's no view of the evidence that could show that that any of these three things would be promises, inducements, and rewards under our rules, because whatever the North Andover Police Department did, they did as a product of their own administrative duties, and it has nothing to do with the prosecution team. And there were no promises made in exchange for his testimony. So I'm sure that Ms. Moriarty could articulate that much better than I did. But let me try to cut to the chase. I agree with the Commonwealth, as I said before at the Rule 17 hearing. But I think arguably, and I want to hear you folks, that they could be asked, again, I need to drill down more, but they could be asked to show.
It's in violation of that.
Okay, so do you need to speak with Officer Noonan about this before he returns Commonwealth?
Are on critical incident leave right now, words to that effect, right?
Yes.
And that means that you're not able to perform the duties of a police officer.
I don't.
And he doesn't mean it,
Let's see.
right?
I don't recall that, but if that came from my number, then I had that conversation with her. I don't remember.
Hey.
Extremely difficult call involving a murder-suicide where the murder was of a baby.
Yes, it was horrific.
And you and Kelsey went to that call, right?
With other officers, yes.
And you had shared some texting after that, right?
Yes, I was being a senior officer trying to help out a rookie go through traumatic
rookie.
event.
And your phone number, I don't want to give out the phone number, but it's fair to say that you had, Kelsey had your phone number.
Yes, I think we were all in a group text.
And it's a 978, just leave it there.
That's correct.
Okay. And so in that text, you said to Kelsey, relating to your past career, I spiraled down a rabbit hole, a very dark place. This happened years later in my career. We can speak in person about that. I have a guy I've been going to for years, like 10. And when I feel like I'm off, I call him And all I have to say is, I need a tune-up, and he does mean it.
A tune-up.
I don't recall that, but if that came from my number, then I had that conversation.
This guy really thinks he's like a super cop, the way he talks. He calls going to a therapist a tune-up. That's what he's just basically calling it there, a tune-up.
I don't remember.
I when I need a tune-up,
Yeah,
brain tune-up.
I apologize if I do this on my cell phone. This just came up this morning. I can check that. Okay. And that's your phone number and right? So can I just... That's pretty personal stuff to share with somebody that you say that you didn't know very well, isn't it?
Again, senior officer. She's going through a lot. I was just trying to be there for her.
Yeah, sure you were. You're such a good guy.
And that was one horrific call.
And we agree that that's something that can create very profound bonding between officers when you have a common tragedy that you have to deal with.
Yes, but you move on. You go back to work.
Oh, this guy's so oh my God. Thank you, Mr. You move on, you go back to work. You're a real serious guy. You know, he's trying. So he's got no empathy. And we see that with this comment about like, I told you, you see the baby again in 2 weeks. Like, imagine telling your mother that. Yeah, you'll see the baby in 2 weeks. You'll be fine. As if that's going to be like, oh, okay, that's it. Just 2 weeks. Oh, no problem.
I want to go back to the bedroom where Kelsey's on the floor and you stop holding the gun on her. You assist Lieutenant Daly with first aid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see if this refreshes your memory. You said that she said, it hurts. She said, it hurts. I, meaning you, said, keep breathing. You have a baby to live for.
Yes.
Right. And that was your testimony about what she said and what you said, right?
Yes.
And that was the truth?
Yes.
And that was the whole truth?
Yes.
Now, when you were interviewed by Attorney Bennett of the CIC investigation,
Yes.
you painted quite a different picture, didn't you?
No.
You had something to add.
Nope.
That made you look good, didn't you?
No.
Nope.
You said to Attorney Bennett, if I get 1 moment, I just want to get this exactly right.
I got to get a more comfortable chair. I can't sit in this fucking chair anymore. It's like wooden and it's going to hurt my back. I got a chair in the basement. I'm going to bring it right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Chair switch. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Now we can relax. All right, hold on. Whew, I could not sit there, dude. My back's already killing me. Oh, that's so much better. Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. I was like sitting all uptight and sitting. I'm like, oof. That's what I'm talking about. There it is. There it is. All right, let's go. Let's play some more of this dude. This loser guy. You're a loser guy. Look at him.
To the CIC report, you did say the part that she was saying it hurt,
Yeah, okay, we got it. So there's that. You know, some people don't get where Bradle's going with this. They're like, they think he took it too easy on him. I saw some criticism out there. Everything's by design. Everything he said there is by design. He's trying to win the case. He's trying to get this judge, right, to realize that this guy is thinks he's Rambo. This guy thinks he's like super cop, and this guy is covering for himself. He has every incentive to lie, you know, is what it is. But man, this chair is fucking dope. So much better, dude. Woo! I couldn't sit in that chair for this whole show. No fucking way. I would have been miserable. So much better now. Okay, so we're gonna skip this guy. This guy's boring. This guy's even more boring, the ballistics guy. And we're gonna go to Fat Amanda Bynes. Where's she at? Okay, well, actually, let's listen to this cop. This is her pal, who was there today for some reason. I go down the stairs at the end of court today. Him and Daly are standing there with a bunch of other North Andover cops, just standing there. Like, I hate when cops do that. It's like you're just like, was this like a show of force? You guys are like badasses there. We get it. Okay, we're all really intimidated, by the way. You know, 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 did that. He showed 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃. Remember 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 showed up the day of the verdict day, or he might have been there the day before. They're just walking around, seeing jurors. He was intimidating them. Like, so all the, and this guy's supposed to be her friend. You know, Houston. There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's no sorry.
Okay. And so when was that you joined the PD?
Started the academy in November 2020.
And your rank now, you're patrol officer?
Patrol officer.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your duties as a patrol officer?
I worked a 4 to 12 shift. I started on midnights. I've been on 4 to 12. I think it's my 3rd year. Kept in touch when she went on leave. Tried to keep her in the loop. Spoke with her, kind of, you know, trying to
get together,
figure out something, but it never happened.
Never happened.
Did you know her fiance?
Just, I met him at the engagement party. Other than that, I'd see him, you know, on calls if we had the FD, but I don't know him that well.
So I'm going to turn your attention to June 30th of last year. We were working that day.
Yes.
And at some point, did you get in touch by Lieutenant Daly?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the nature of that communication?
He called me and said, Justin filed an RO against Kelsey. He wanted me and Officer Noonan to go to the house and serve the RO, which required Justin picking up their baby and confiscating our firearms.
Okay. How did he get in touch with you? Do you remember?
By cell phone.
Okay. Did he ask you to do anything in particular about Officer Noonan?
Initially, he told me to drive past Kelsey's house and see if she was home.
Okay. Did you do that?
I did.
And you knew where she lived?
Yes.
Did she park in a particular place usually?
So normally, yes, she would park in front of her house if she was home. I found her car 50 to 100 yards down the road, kind of in the school lot, kind of tucked away.
Okay. Did you relay that information to Lieutenant Daly at that point?
I did.
Okay. And at the point that you saw her car, had you already talked to Officer Noonan?
I had, after I called Lieutenant Daly and told him about her car being out, you know, parked in a strange way, I called Officer Noonan.
Okay. And what did you tell him?
I said, hey, you know what's going on? He hadn't talked to Lieutenant Daly yet, so he had no idea what was going on. So I told him to meet me in the parking lot and I'd go over it with him.
And did he do that?
He did.
Did he get there before Lieutenant Daly did, if you remember?
Yes, he did.
Did you inform him of what was going on?
I did.
At some point, did Lieutenant Daly also meet up with you in that particular spot?
Yes.
Okay. Did you talk about a plan as to how you were going to handle serving the order?
I mean, my only memory is what I updated Officer Noonan with, just the circumstances why we're going there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a tough position for her, finding out, you know, there's an order in place, we're taking her firearms, we got to take the baby, give them to Justin. So we thought with her past being section, she might not take that news very well. And, you know, we weren't sure what was going to happen.
Okay. Had you served restraining orders yourself before?
Yes.
Now, at some point, did you go over to 125 Phillipsburg Road?
Yes, we did.
And the three of you?
Yes.
Did you go in together?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us what happened as you approached the house? Take it from there.
So we parked off to the side of the house, out of view of the house itself. We walked around, knocked on the front door or the side porch door, whatever.
Had you ever been in that home before?
I don't think I'd ever been in the home, no.
When you knocked or rang, I'm sorry, I forget what you said.
I don't remember.
Okay. Did someone answer?
Yes, Kelsey answered.
Okay. Did she have the baby with her?
She did.
Okay. So what happened then?
She wasn't sure why we were there. Lieutenant Daly.
Yep.
Did you remain standing? Was she seated? What happened with the baby? Can you describe?
Okay. Yeah.
Away from them by another couch.
Okay. Could you hear what they
Sitting on the couch.
Shocked by it. Lieutenant Daly did his best to, you know, mediate and tell her, you know, it's, you know, this is what has to happen now, but you're gonna have your day in court. Like nothing's, you know, we're gonna figure this out.
Did you look around the living room?
Yes, I did.
And did you notice something?
Yes. So on the couch I was near, there was clothes everywhere. I could see a handgun case sticking out And before that, Lieutenant Daly had asked Kelsey where her firearms were. She said they're in the basement. And while they were having that discussion, I saw the handgun case, picked it up, opened it. It was empty, and Kelsey reassured me that they were in the basement.
Okay. That was the second time she said they were in the basement.
Yes.
How soon after you got in there was that question asked about where the guns were, if you remember?
Almost immediately.
Okay. That was one of the first questions?
Yes.
Right. What happened next?
So we told her that, or Lieutenant Daly told her that Justin's going to come and pick up the baby. So she said, you know, how long is he going to have him? I need to pack for him. So
this is true.
Me and Lieutenant Daly began following Kelsey as she packed for the baby.
Okay. And did she do anything with the baby when you guys were following her around, if you remember?
I believe
gave him to me. Yeah, I held the baby.
Kitchen. I remember when me and Lieutenant Daly followed her in the kitchen. There was, I was concerned because there was butcher knives all along the kitchen.
It is a kitchen.
Okay.
it is a kitchen.
Was it your intention for you or another officer to be with her the entire time?
That's correct.
Is that standard practice when you're have similar concerns?
Correct.
After you went into the kitchen, do you remember where you went?
I believe we went upstairs. Me, Kelsey, Lieutenant Daly briefly came back downstairs, and then we went into the other side room. I think like an exercise room.
Okay. At any point, if you remember, did the defendant make a call?
Yes, at some point she called her mother.
So after you came downstairs, at some point, did you take possession of the baby?
That's correct.
That's correct.
What happened while you were holding the baby? Anything?
Told her, I said I'd take the baby, but I wasn't going to leave. So I took the baby out on the porch. And the baby was crying, so we invited the mom in. She was pretty upset with us, but Lieutenant Daly explained the situation to her. So at that point, me and Officer Noonan followed Kelsey upstairs so she could pack more things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go up the stairs, there's a landing.
Yeah. Bedrooms are there. Yeah.
Now,
the rooms.
while you were up there?
Correct.
And what was she doing?
She was packing. At some point, she mentioned that Justin doesn't have a car seat. So she handed me a car seat. I was holding it, started putting more and more stuff in there. And at some point I put it down.
Why'd you put it down?
I don't have my hands tied up.
And did that continue for some bit?
Briefly, at some point she heard a female's voice downstairs and she made a comment to me. She said, "Who's downstairs, my baby?" I said, "I believe it's your mom." I mean, we were just there. And she said, "That's not my mom's voice." And I got the sense that she wanted me to go downstairs and check, but I just kind of dismissed it at the time.
And so you stayed up there.
I stayed up
Do you
there.
remember which room that was in when you were having that conversation?
That was right at the landing. So she had moved, I think she had moved back to her bedroom, and as she was coming across, she had mentioned it. And at some point up there, I found another handgun case.
Okay. And where was that?
I honestly couldn't tell you which room it was.
It's just like a million guns in this
I
house.
opened it, and she saw me open it, and she said, "I already told you they're in the basement."
Was there anything in it?
There was nothing in it.
At some point, was your attention drawn downstairs again?
Correct.
Okay, can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So at some point, Justin came.
Oh boy.
Kelsey heard his voice, and she said, "I don't want him in the house."
Get him out of here.
At that point, I thought the only thing that was going to escalate the situation is them two in the house together at the same point. So I wanted to help Kelsey out. So I told her I'd go tell Justin to leave.
Okay. Where were you in this conversation now?
Between me and Kelsey, we were still upstairs.
Okay. And was Officer Noonan also with you?
Yeah.
So did you go downstairs?
I did.
Okay. Officer Noonan stay up with Kelsey?
Correct.
Where is she at this point, if you remember?
She was either in her room or at the landing, but I couldn't be certain. But when we had that conversation, we were at the landing. And
You went downstairs?
Correct.
And what did you do when you went downstairs?
So when I went downstairs, I only saw Lieutenant Daly, the mom, and I told him, Kelsey doesn't want Justin in the house. And he said, "All right, Justin's, I don't know if he said he's in the basement or he's coming up from the basement." He said, "Just go to the basement and tell him just to wait outside."
Okay. So where'd you go?
I walked past Lieutenant Daly and Kelsey's mom through the kitchen where the basement, the top of the stairs is, and I opened that door.
Could you see down?
So the lights are off. I flicked the light to turn the lights on. The lights didn't turn on. So
could you hear anything downstairs?
I couldn't hear anything. And I remember after I flicked, whether or not to check with Lieutenant Daly.
Okay.
Really? Yeah.
Did something happen at that point?
Yeah. So at that point, I heard Officer Noonan yell "Kelsey," and I heard 2 gunshots.
Okay.
What did you do?
I ran back the way I came. At that point, it was only Kelsey's mom. She was still in the living room. Lieutenant Daly was gone. He'd already gone upstairs, and I started making my way upstairs.
When you were making your way upstairs, could you see anybody at the top of the landing?
I could see Officer Noonan.
And what happened as you went up?
So, I mean, I knew it was gunshots. I came over the air and I said, "Start medics." I don't know if that got caught or someone else was calling at the same time, but I had my pistol out and I was going up the stairs. I saw Noonan and I said, like, "You get up there? What was that?" And I can't remember exactly what he said. That
Shot her. Shot her.
Can you give us just what he said?
Yeah, I shot her.
At that point, he said, yeah, he looked like he was still in shock. He said, yeah. So I kept moving up towards him. And as I got closer to him, I was like, "What just happened?" And he said, "She pulled a gun on me." And we talked about it later, but at that point, that's what he said.
That's fine right there, actually.
We'll find her there.
Thank you.
Do you remember the exact words he used?
I think this, I don't know if this guy's a cop. Like, I think these guys are cops. I don't know, just them being there, it's fucking weird.
So the exact words he used after would be after the FD and we had gone into the other room and spoken. But at that exact moment, that I don't even.
What's the basis?
So I'm not, I guess that's a vague question because I don't know what he's referring to in terms of what conversation.
It was something to the effect that later on they went in the kitchen, maybe.
Would the exact words that he used when you first ran up the stairs, would it help you to remember if you looked at a report?
It was exactly when I got to the top of the stairs or.
Okay, would after the event?
So for the truth of the matter or state of mind? Both.
All right, we're gonna skip.
Has identified the statement, identified where it was made, when it was made.
That she pulled out a pistol, pulled the trigger, and wrapped around. Where did you go?
At that point, I was at the landing. I looked in and I saw Kelsey on the ground and I saw Lieutenant Daly over.
What was he doing? Anything?
It looked like he was kind of evaluating her. I moved towards them. I asked either Noonan or Lieutenant Daly. I said, "Where's the gun?" I believe I asked Noonan, and he motioned away from Kelsey, so that stopped being my concern. I moved close to Lieutenant Daly just to see what level of consciousness Kelsey was. I could see she was breathing. She was alert. So I told Lieutenant Daly I was going to go get a med bag.
Was she saying anything?
She kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
And so where did you go?
I ran down to get the medical bag out of my cruiser.
Did you get it?
I did.
Did you come back?
I did.
And what did you do when you came back?
Yeah. CPR, yeah, okay.
Cross-examination?
Cross-examination, here we go.
I mean, I guess that's the best way I could describe it.
I was unsure why you were there, correct?
Correct.
And how was that manifested?
She just looked surprised. Her eyes were wide. She didn't. I mean, I guess that's the best way I could describe it.
Now, you were with her for a good amount of time during this interaction, right?
Correct.
And it's true that she tried to kind of get you away from her a couple of times?
That's what I believe, yes.
She gave you the baby and said maybe go out on the porch
Yeah.
and take him for a walk?
Correct.
And then she also put some...
Again, this all leads into, I'm going to kill myself. I don't want to kill myself in front of the baby. Can you guys just go? She's creating it. This all leads into the defense's theory that she was trying to commit suicide because she was doing one or the other. She pulled the gun out. That's not in dispute. She was either trying to kill herself or she was trying to kill Noonan. And if she's trying to get Noonan and Houston out of there, then she's trying to kill herself and she's not guilty. Boom.
Put some things in your hands and asked you to take them downstairs?
She didn't ask me to take them downstairs. She just put them in my hand.
And where did that occur?
On the landing.
Upstairs?
Upstairs.
And you said that you heard Officer Noonan yell Kelsey?
Correct.
And that's all?
That's all.
One time?
One time.
And how about after you said Kelsey, how long of a time elapsed until the gunshots?
I couldn't put an exact time. It wasn't instant, but it was relatively quick.
Relatively quick. How about the gunshots themselves? It was 2 gunshots, right?
2 gunshots.
Were they in quick succession?
Yeah, pretty quick.
And you said that Ms. Fitzimmons said, I'm sorry.
Correct.
Did she say, I'm sorry, I tried to kill myself?
She did not say that.
Just, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. 3 times.
Now, was there a plan before this to section Kelsey?
No.
You mentioned that you had known that she was sectioned before, right?
Correct.
And that was several months prior, wasn't it?
I don't know exactly when it was.
Okay, so it's fair to say that you don't really have any grasp of the details of that incident, do you?
I do not.
And you don't know whether it had anything to do with the police or not, do you?
I know there was police there, but I don't know the circumstances of what happened.
Okay, so you don't know how long it was?
No.
And you don't even know whether she was in fact accepted as a Section 12 commitment, do you?
No idea.
And so do you know the difference between having forms filled out to be looked at under Section 12 versus being accepted and committed under Section 12?
Yeah, so I didn't want to, like I said, I was invited to her wedding. I was friends with Kelsey.
That's not my question.
Okay.
I asked you some stuff about Section 12.
I know if you get sectioned, you're going to be there for probably 72 hours and you can't leave.
And do you have any idea whether that happened in March?
I have no idea.
So it's fair to say that other than kind of the notion floating around in your department that she was sectioned, you really have no information whatsoever about it. Isn't that right?
No, I didn't want to know.
These guys are such guys. It's like, I don't want to know shit. I don't know. Basically, Bradle's trying to put it in their heads here that like, so around the department, you guys talked a lot of shit about her, huh? That she was just like the crazy bitch. That's how you guys kind of referred to her. Oh, she's a 5150. Like that's how they are trying to put it he's trying to make the judge think that these guys just kind of like, but that they don't really know, that you guys just rumor spread. She's just crazy, right? Like this is the narrative that is spreading around the department. This is what you guys think this way. This is why you believe Noonan, right? Because she's crazy. This is what you guys have been led to believe.
And then you said something about the knives in Ms. Fitzimmons' kitchen.
Correct.
What's the status of the knives in Ms. Fitzimmons' kitchen?
Just at that point, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, so I didn't want her to reach for a knife. It's nothing against her. It's just it's a lot of information to take in. I didn't know how she was going to react.
Okay, so was there something strange about the knives that were in her kitchen?
No, it's just a weapon in the kitchen.
So when you're serving one of these things, anything you can do with than that?
No, that's it.
Now they call the fat friend. Here we go. Like those guys are definitely cops. I mean, what were they doing there? Oh, here's the fat friend. Okay, there she is.
Could you raise your right hand? You
Look at this Julie Nagel
testimony about
motherfucker.
to give in this
Yeah.
time of hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Get to this thing.
How are you? Good afternoon. How are you?
Could you please state your name, spell your first name and your last name?
Yes. My name is Michelle Mitchell. Michelle is MICHELLE. Last name Mitchell,
Mitchell.
MITCHELL.
And what town do you live in?
I live in Ipswich, Massachusetts.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a correctional officer.
Um,
I'm a correctional officer.
and how long have you been doing that?
8 years.
In Middleton?
Yes,
Do you know Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
I do.
How do you know her?
We were coworkers and we eventually became friends.
Now I'm going to jump ahead in your relationship. Well, when did you meet her? Do you remember?
The end of 2021.
At some point, you knew she was getting married.
Yes.
Were you going to be part of that?
Yes, I was a bridesmaid in their wedding.
Oh, great.
I'm going to turn your attention to June 30th of 2025. Do you recall that day?
I do.
At some point, did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
And was that over the phone?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that?
Yes. We talked on the phone and she was driving around North Andover and she was crying and I heard her baby crying in the backseat.
Did she tell you why she was crying?
She said that she needed Justin.
Any more than that, or was that the gist of it?
That was the gist of the conversation. And then she said she had to pull over to feed the baby.
Now, where were you when you had that conversation? Do you remember?
I was in North Andover driving around trying to meet up with her.
Did you ever meet up with her that day?
I did not until I saw her later in the hospital.
Where did you go? Did you stay in North Andover?
I did up until I went to the hospital after she was.
Okay. Where did you go in North Andover? Anybody's house in particular?
I went to Hunter's house.
And who is Hunter?
He's a friend of Justin's.
And Justin Alain?
Yes.
And who do you know him to be with regards to Kelsey?
He's a coworker of Justin's and also a friend of his.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter. I meant of the defendant. Who is Justin in relation to the defendant?
Oh,
sorry if that was unclear.
That's okay. Justin was Kelsey's fiance.
Was anybody else over Hunter's house?
Yes.
Who's that?
It would be me, Justin, Katrina, myself, and Justin's sister, Courtney.
And who is Katrina?
So what kind of fucking friends are these? So she's like, she called me earlier crying, looking for Justin. And we were supposed to meet up, but we didn't. Why? Oh, because I went to her boyfriend's friend's house. What? What kind of shit is that? What kind of Jim Altman shit is this? Where she's going to be, why are you hanging out with his friends and him? That's so weird to me. I understand that you become friendly with your friend's significant other. I get that. You want to be polite. You can have a pleasant conversation with them. You can be pals, I guess, to an extent. But ultimately, you're her friend. You know what I mean? You're her friend. Hey, so what are you going to Hunter's house for? What kind of mean girl shit is going on here?
Katrina.
A friend of Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
Was she also in the wedding, if you know?
Yes.
Without getting into the conversation that was being had between the half dozen of you or so, do you know if Justin made a decision to do something?
Yes.
What was that?
He was going to go to the Lawrence courthouse to file a restraining order 209A and also get temporary custody of the child.
Okay. And at any point, did you see the defendant in the area of Hunter's house?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes. I witnessed her drive by Hunter's house.
Oh, she's standing in the window. That's it? That was it?
Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Good afternoon.
What was the purpose of calling her for the prosecution? What did she provide? I don't get what she provided. Other than she's a real shitty friend. Okay, go on, Michelle.
A couple questions. You said that you spoke with Kelsey on 6/30/25?
That is correct.
And she told you that she was driving around. She said that she was meeting Justin, right?
No, she did not meet Justin.
Did you say needing Justin?
I thought you said meeting.
I did. Wasn't she going to meet Justin?
That was what I understood from Justin, but she didn't tell me that on the phone.
Okay, she said that she needed Justin?
Meeting or needing? You need to clarify that for me.
Oh my God.
Needed. She said she needed Justin?
Needed Justin. That is correct.
Okay, so let's put that over here. And she had also told you that day that she was meeting Justin, right?
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
So
oh
she couldn't
my
meet
God.
with you
She
because
said
she was meeting Justin, right?
That is what she said.
That's what she said, right?
And you said there was some sort of gathering at Hunter's house?
Yes.
And that was a social gathering with swimming and drinking, right?
That is incorrect.
Was there swimming?
No, Mr. Bradle.
Was there drinking?
Oh my God.
Also no.
And it was you?
No, Mr. Bradle. No, Mr. Bradle. Oh, fucking cunt.
Katrina,
Oh.
and Justin and his sister and Hunter, right?
Correct.
Now, you said that you saw her drive by the house?
Yes.
And so it's fair to say that she would have been able to recognize some or all of the vehicles, right?
Yes.
And going by the house is a route that would take her to the North Andover Common, right?
Yes, it's near there. Correct.
Nothing further.
Nothing. All right, you may step down.
Okay, thank you.
May we approach?
I don't understand the purpose of this witness at all. And so whatever. Okay. So that's the end of that day. Other than what a shitty friend she is. I mean, I don't know what else she's a Jim Altman. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get the dynamic. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with Kelsey when this is all said and done. The trolls are so mad. You guys see this on Twitter? They're so mad about I don't know why I respond to some of these people, but I'll show. I'm not like looking for attention when I do this. He's always looking for attention. No, I'm not. First of all, I understand that I have a large platform. And so if I'm not talking about this, I'm not, I'm not being responsible. I mean, and I'm also like really into this case now. I was hesitant to do it because of the Bradle factor, because I didn't want to be in a position where I had to criticize him. Because I'm very honest. Like, remember I criticized Alan Jackson about his closing? It's like, what am I going to talk shit about Bradle? He's my lawyer. I can't do that. Like, what if I have an honest opinion that he did something that I wouldn't have done or I didn't like? What am I going to say? Or if I just say nice things about him, everyone's going to be like, you're just saying that because he's your lawyer. So I shied away from this case. But I don't know. The more I found out about Justin and his mother, the more I became interested in this case, and I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. And so I went to that pretrial hearing about 2 weeks before the trial started, and I met the family. I met Kelsey. I met her father. I met her stepfather. They're all really nice people. And, took pictures, and they were just very happy to have me there. And I'm like, cool. I didn't really do shit, but here I am. And thank you for having me. And so now I see him every day, and we have a pleasant conversation. We don't talk about the trial because it was sequestered. And they didn't know anything that was going on. No one would ever do that. No one under a sequestration order would ever watch the trial, would they? Never. And so we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm like, look at some of these people. They're so mad. There was this one, whoever this person is, like, look at the turtle. Such a loser. He walks up and seems like Kelsey looks uncomfortable. He's such a creep. She probably wants nothing. She probably wants nothing to do with him. Okay. So first of all, I was inside the courthouse talking to all of them afterwards, but mostly Bradle because he's my lawyer. And we talking about my situation and things we need to do. And some other things I'll get to that we are not talking about right now, but that we'll get to. And so I walked out with them, and as soon as we walked out, they went right for the cameras. I go right to the side because I'm not looking for the spotlight, am I? I just go to the side, and there's cameras at all angles. So no matter what, I'm gonna be on camera because there's cameras everywhere. So I'm not like looking for the spotlight or looking for attention here. But they're like, what is it?
Feeling ahead and couple
I'm like
of a lot of
way
things
in the
that
back.
she's been through. So we're very proud of her. We're glad this case is coming to a conclusion. We appreciate everything Judge Karp has done to make us comfortable, make us feel heard, and it's almost over. So
Do you feel like it's going to
we're very confident and to put everything in that we wanted to put in.
She looks so uncomfortable.
What? Wait, who said that? Was that on the? Hold on. Was that commentary there? Hold on.
Wanted to put in.
She looks so uncomfortable.
That's all I can do.
She looks so uncomfortable. Turtleboy lurking there. Bro, Kelsey wants me there. Like, what are you talking about? She messaged me. Like, again, I shared a screenshot of something because I had a permission to share this. I mean, her and her dad both reached out to me after the first hearing. And after that, Brado's like, I don't want you talking to her anymore. I'm like, okay, no problem. No problem. I know we don't want a Karen Reed situation here. Right. And I get it. But like, they make it very clear that like they're very happy to have me there. I don't do anything. I just do my job. I'm just reporting on the case. But they like it because it puts more eyeballs on this. So why wouldn't you want that if you were them? I mean, the haters out there that don't want me involved in any of this shit. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Most people like me. And I have a very large platform. So I don't know. I know that makes you mad because you're all invested in me being like irrelevant and stupid and whatever. But it's just not the case, bro. It's just not the case.
I think Kelsey accomplished everything that she wanted to. And she accomplished everything I wanted to. So we're very happy.
Kelsey, do you want to comment on what it felt like to be up there on the stand?
Glad the truth came out.
Did you feel like it was your moment to share your story, your side of the story?
I feel like it was my only moment to finally.
I'm not even doing anything. I'm just standing there.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it. They're so mad about that. They're like, oh my God, Turtleboy. So I'm like, bro, bitch. I'm like, what do you want me to do? That's like, she's the one invited me. I don't know what you want me to say. So they're all mad about that. And then what else are people saying? There was this other, what was that fat chick's name? 𝗫𝗄𝗄 Is that her name? I think I responded to one of her stupid tweets. Or not. Maybe not. Did I? Oh, yeah, this one. The super fan blogger. I kind of like that one. Super fan blogger insisted on staying in view of the cameras separate from other reporters. See, the problem is there's cameras on all sides. So no matter where you go, you're going to be on camera. Stupid. Separate from other reporters while simultaneously acting like a creep towards Kelsey. Okay. Whatever you guys, they're so jealous of me. It's just crazy. The jealousy oozes out of these people. I can't do anything right with them. I can't do anything right. All right. Like this guy, whoever this guy is, Larry Tannery, he comes up on my feed all the time. This guy watches all of my shows and just tweets about me all day. I've never met him before. He's some weirdo lawyer in upstate New York who gets real aggressive on Twitter, and he just tweets about me 24/7. I don't follow him. He's like real obsessed with me. If you go to this guy's page, I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at those eyes. Look at this guy. But he just tweets about me constantly. Even this one. Like, this is some guy being sentenced. He's like, I'm from the future. I just came back to share this video of Uncle Turtleboy's sentencing. Oh, okay. Right. This fucking guy. So, like, I was mad about Boston 25 News stealing my story, which they did. He's like, this guy, against my better judgment, I tuned into his bootleg program. Of course you did. And I'm sure you're watching right now, Larry. Of course you're watching. All you people are watching me all the time. He's already crying like a baby about himself. He's done zero vetting of whether they got the info from somewhere else. So I know as a fact that they couldn't have got this info from anywhere else because I know who my source is. The source is very close. Very close. There is no one else that could have got this documentation except for me. Nothing. But yeah. First 2 hours are again devoted to his self-important and self-serving rants, despite titling the show 𝗪𝐿cy case. Get the fuck out of here, you little moron. You're lazy. Well, here's what you're going to do, Larry. You're going to watch tonight. You're probably going to watch Sex Cult tomorrow. Who am I kidding? You're going to watch Saturday. You're going to watch every single show I do for the rest of my life. You know why, Larry? Because I fucking told you to. That's why. Because you're my little bitch. If I tell you to watch something, you're going to fucking watch it. You hate me. You fucking hate me so much. But you can't stop watching. And when you do that, I get paid no matter what. You don't need to send me turtle chats or cash apps, nothing. Just watching generates revenue because I'm monetized. Okay. And you're never going to stop. You understand that? You're never going to stop. All right. Before we watch Kelsey's testimony, let's grift a little bit. Let's do some grifting. Let's see if we got any turtle chats here. Let's start with TC from London. Sends $10 and goes, I grew up in the same Malden neighborhood as prosecutor 𝗂𝗲𝗄𝗏, and I can say with absolute certainty, 𝗪𝗏 would definitely win a 4th of July Little Master Linden rematch. 𝗪𝗏? I don't get it at all. Okay, thank you, but appreciate that. Don't get the reference. Don't understand it. Appreciate the $10. Thanks. Next, if this loads. And by the way, Celtics beat the Thunder tonight. That is huge, bro. Huge win for the C's. I'm going to the game on what the fuck is that? I'm going to the game Friday night. Hold on. I'll be at the game Friday night if anyone's there. Celtics Hawks. We'll see what happens. Next, we have here is freaking Rican sends $5 and says, I truly can't wait for the free Turtleboy to go nuts on all these pussies. You are the way you are, and you're on bail. I can only imagine when you're not. Enjoy your new crib. Absolutely. Thank you very much. And me and Bradel, we're talking about that today afterwards. Like, your trial is going to be insane if it happens. If it happens. We are prepared for trial. You have to be mentally prepared for trial. We're going to have a motion to dismiss. If you win, you win. If you don't, you go to trial. I am not afraid of a trial at all. Have you noticed that in Massachusetts, more than any other state, like defendants are always found like not guilty? Not guilty is not guilty is the default. Okay. I don't know what percentage of cases that go to trial end up with guilty verdicts, but I think it's well above 50%. I would guess there's got to be some data on that somewhere. Every time I watch a trial on whatever, they're always guilty. Corey Rich is guilty. The Don Adelson's guilty. Charlie Adelson's guilty. They're always guilty. That Ashley Bainfeld was guilty. It was the ballerina lady. She was guilty. Who else was guilty? I mean, Faust, even though the guy's probably not guilty, he was guilty. Richard Allen was found guilty. Not saying these people are all guilty, but everybody's always found guilty. You see that? I mean, rarely do you see not guilty verdicts are rare, except in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, it's like standard. Like Kelsey Fitzsimmons is going to be acquitted. You know, I had a not guilty verdict in June. Karen Reed had a not guilty verdict in June. You might have heard about it. You might have seen that. That Penny, the socialite there, Penny, what's her name? From Brookline. She was acquitted. You know who gets convicted around here? Brian Walsh. That's how bad you got to be to get convicted in Massachusetts. You got to be Brian Walsh level retarded to get convicted. Not me. Like, you're not like, so all these people out here banking on a conviction. Like, I got bad news for you guys. I'm not going to be convicted. It's not going to happen. And even if I was, which ain't going to happen, they're not sending me to jail. I don't know if you guys need to hear this. We don't send people to jail in this state or this country when other people aren't hurt. Nobody got hurt. Like, nobody got what is happening right now? We're not sending someone to jail for a YouTube show. You guys really think that? Oh my God, you're setting yourself up for failure if you really believe that. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail. You're never going to convict me anyway. I'm too well liked. Stop it. So, but me and Bradel were talking about that today, about how what a circus it's going to be at my trial. Like the media that's going to be there and shit. Like, because we're putting the band back together if we go to trial. 𝗪𝗓𝗄𝗏's back. They'll be like, oh shit, 𝗪𝗓𝗄𝗏's back. What's she gonna, what's she look like now? She's aged it's like 2 years later after the Reed trial. We're gonna have to go through all this shit again. Matt McCabe, Chubbs McCabe, Brian Albert's back, Colin Albert's back. Oh my God. Everyone's back. The bagel is back. She gonna steal your girl. All these people are coming back. I can't believe they're doing it. It's gonna be like the Kearney trial is going to be old news by then. It kind of is already. Like nobody is. I see updates about our civil case. Nobody cares right now. Everybody cares about this case. Everybody cares about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. So when my case comes back, it is going to reinvigorate the whole Reed case. And I'm not going to get convicted. And we are going to make mincemeat of these witnesses, right? And I don't know what they think is going to happen here, how it's going to work out for them. I can't wait. I can't wait. Good luck to them. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well for them. I'm telling you right now. All right. Next. I just hope it's in Norfolk court and not Suffolk, because Suffolk is the parking's a bitch. And that's going to suck going there every day. I don't want to do that. I'd rather go to Norfolk. All right, cool. All right. Shayna sends $5 and her comment is, my friend is the CEO at Middleton with Michelle, and word around the unit is she's a hoe, and now she's fucking Justin and helping with the baby. Okay, well, we don't know that. She claimed she was going to be a character witness for Kelsey and flipped because she's shacking up with okay. All right. Thank you. Love you, Turtleboy. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate that. We don't do rumors and speculation, though. I appreciate the $5. At least not for $5. You got to pay a little more than that if you want to just come on here and spread rumors. Okay, Pat D is up for $5 and goes, I have 9 guns and no gas money. He had 9 guns? That's wild. That's wild. No, this is the problem. Wait, she's actually fucking Justin? No. Somebody send me $5. I'll read whatever they say. This is why you shouldn't say shit like that. And guys, you shouldn't believe shit like that. Just because somebody pays $5 and I say it doesn't make it true. Stop it. Be better than that. Stop it. Next. We have K-Mac O'Flynn sends 25 smackaroos and says, what the hell is up with the law girls' court attire? Pretending to be journalists in a hoodie and jeans is so trashy. Free Maverick. Well, I mean, you'll have to talk to them. I have no comment on that. They show up every day. They stream the trial. Haven't really noticed what they wear. It's a free country. You can wear whatever you want. I get dressed up. I like not too dressed up. I don't want to like wear a shirt and tie or anything like that, but I throw a nice pair of slacks on and a belt. When I put a belt on, it's a big deal, you know, but, teach their own. Teach their own. All right, next. What do we got here? Calling all mama's boys sends $10 and says, this piece of shit took her fucking dog. Yes, he did. Can someone please explain to me how in the fuck you get a dog put on a TRO? Kelsey is a better person than I am, because if my ex tried to take my dog, his life would absolutely be in danger. Shame on the courts for allowing any of this. Fuck Justin. Kelsey will be acquitted. Yes, she will be. She's going to be acquitted tomorrow. And, Lisa Alayan doesn't like dogs. Doesn't like dogs. So that's the only, if they like dogs, she would never see that dog again. Luckily, they don't like dogs. They like stealing babies, but not dogs. So they didn't get the dog. So thank you very much for calling all mama's boys. Kelly sends $50 and says, I have a question for all you East Coasters. Is it typical to enter an enclosed porch without ringing a bell or knocking? I'm on the West Coast, and we don't typically have enclosed porches. I found that bizarre. The sisters say they just entered the house like that. Very good question. Yes, it is normal. It's very normal. Because it's like usually like a screen door or something, or a storm door to enter the porch area like that. And usually the doorbell is right there. That's perfectly normal to do, I think. I would not consider that like entering your property, even though technically, you are on the property. But I think it's pretty etiquette says you can do that, because usually the doorbell is on the inside. So appreciate that. I don't know why I keep doing that. Next we have here, $5 from Santa BLT's Beer Bomb. Sends $5 and goes, given all the garbage and lies Noonan spewed with his dead fucking eyes, especially she was trying to get past me to kill Justin, are we allowed to call him a cop killer now? You know, he stared down at her without any emotion from his cold, empty eyes and said, bleed. Well, he didn't kill anyone, but he definitely could have. I mean, and I think he made up that lie to try to get out of it because he thought she was going to die. $50 again from who's Kelly again. Sends $50 and goes, hey, Doc, needy Michelle is more of a young Kerry Roberts. Kind of. She kind of is a young Kerry Roberts. I could see that. I could totally see that. The Albert Family Rock sends $10 and goes, they say, I haven't followed all of the minutia in this case, but it seems like it's more of about a family trying to manipulate the court system for their own ends rather than any kind of actual justice. The DA should be embarrassed to be running this case. Yes, he should. He totally 100% should. I agree. Do we have any cash apps here? Yeah, we got Naomi sends $5 and says, sending love and good vibes. Thanks for the extra show tonight. My pleasure. Thanks, Naomi. Mary Lou sends $5.15 and goes, Daddy, not a spoiler, but I'm so proud of Kelsey. Yes, and we're going to get to her testimony momentarily. Laura sends $5, goes, absolutely love it. When you say nobody cares about your stupid IP addresses or screenshots or whatever. Nobody cares. Julie sends $5, goes, whose story makes sense? There's the answer. Kelsey's story makes sense. His story doesn't. Bingo. You got it. If anyone else wants their messages read out loud to the class, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $𝗃 and we can do it that way. All right, let's go on to today's day. Let's go find it. There it is. All right. So, first they had this cone head. They had another cone head up. Not really interesting. Pointless. We're going to skip him. Didn't say anything interesting.
And then you think Ortiz is there at 6:20? Yes. When do you leave to go prepare the search warrant? I write the search warrant.
0 needed. There's Maureen. There's Maureen. Give it to her, Maureen.
Would you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause now and hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
Good morning. You can have a seat and pull yourself right up to that mic.
May I inquire your honor?
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Please state your name and spell your last name.
Maureen 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
And where do you live?
In North Andover.
Do you live in a condo complex there?
I do.
What do you do for a living?
I am a stay-at-home mom, I guess. I guess I'm retired.
What are you retired from?
The construction industry and home staging.
Construction.
Design.
How long have you been retired?
I closed my business, I think, 3 or 4 years. 3 years ago, I had a large staging business.
How long have you lived in your condo complex in North Andover?
Since 2014.
Do you have a dog?
A dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have 2.
And do you walk the dog around the complex from time to time?
Every day.
Do you, in the course of walking your dog, have you ever made the acquaintance of one of your neighbors named Mr. Noonan?
I have.
And do you know who that is generally?
I do.
And how do you know him?
Walking the dogs. I knew him as Duke's father,
And
which is Duke is
dog.
his dog's name. I've spoken, just in passing. The dogs interact and, just general talking about the dogs and whatever. So I've spoken to him a few times and his wife, about the dogs and just
And
general
neighbors
stuff.
making small talk.
Absolutely.
Okay. And back in August of 2025, you had engaged him in some conversation about what was going on at the North Andover PD, right?
I did.
And is that what you said to him by way of initiating the conversation?
I did, yes. The beginning of it was just I had a razzing relationship with him, just regarding things going on in the world. And so what I started with is, how do you like what's going on, in the world today or whatever? And he's like, I love it.
I love it.
And then I had asked, what's going on with North Andover, the town of North Andover? And
What were you referring to when you said that to him?
what was going on at the department. As far as, the shooting, the cop being shot.
And did he?
And he first said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, that press conference, the first press conference that was given made no sense." And at that time he said, "I'm the shooter."
What he said? I'm the shooter.
He said, "I'm the shooter."
And what did you take that to mean?
I said to him that he was the one that shot the other officer, is what I took that to mean.
Right. And then what happened?
I had asked him if, well, first I said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I know when police officers have to discharge their weapons, it affects them. And I can't imagine having to do that with a colleague."
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get the end of that.
I said I couldn't imagine having to do that to a colleague.
And what did he say?
And he had said to me that, sorry, I'm a little nervous. He
Poor Maureen.
said that
You're doing great, Maureen.
there was no choice to it. He had no choice, that he had to, she had the gun pointed at him when he came into the bedroom. And
Did he use any
he said
certain,
that,
pejorative about her?
I'm sorry?
Did he use any certain pejorative about her? What did he call it?
What did he call her? Well, he didn't call her that at that time. He explained very, very briefly what had happened. And he said that when he came into the room, she had the gun pointed at him, and that it clicked. She clicked it, and I said, "So there was no bullet there?" And he said it clicked, and that he wasn't going to let her get a second shot off, and that he had to shoot her. And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." And
That doesn't make any sense.
I had asked
Right to his face.
they went to her house. The three of them went to the house instead of having her go to the station. And why would they, if they were going to the house to take a baby, why would they have had some social services
Oh,
there with them?
dude, she's grilling him.
And he said, "Well, she's a fucking whack job."
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
You have to say what was said.
Okay. And he said that she's an effing,
I'm sorry.
whack job.
So was that in response to you saying, why didn't you have social services go to the house?
Yeah. And I was like, wow,
She's a fucking whack job.
that word is used.
Objection.
Yeah, sustain. Next question.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Not what was said so much,
Okay.
but did you engage back with him about the, let's say, the propriety of that usage?
I did.
After that, did you end the conversation with him?
There was a little more conversation, and then it ended, yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's it. There we go. Cross. How'd you get involved?
How did I get involved in it? I didn't.
Well, no, how did they know you heard this?
Objection relevant.
Overruled.
After the conversation that we had, I was shocked by it. I didn't even know Pat's first name
But how did you contact someone?
I did. And a little bit after we had the conversation, probably a week afterwards, I did contact somebody that Mike Crawford, that I knew.
Hold on. I gotta
After
see.
the conversation that we had, I was shocked by it. I didn't even know Pat's first name
But how did you contact someone?
I did. And a little bit after we had the conversation, probably a week afterwards, I did contact somebody that Mike Crawford, that I knew.
His name is Vagina Mike. Okay. And he couldn't be bothered to show up for a day of the trial. He just couldn't be bothered. He's a big supporter of Kelsey. Just couldn't be bothered to come, even though he lives not far. It's North Shore, But she contacted Crawford.
Was in contact with the defense, and because I think there was a hearing, I'm not sure, but I know that Mike was in contact with them, and I contacted Mike.
And so when was this? When was this conversation?
With Mike?
No, with this conversation with Pat.
It was August 20th.
August 20th.
Yeah.
Did Melanie?
You were interested in this case from the beginning, right?
I'm sorry?
You were interested in this case from the beginning, weren't you?
No, I mean, I was interested in what was going on in my town, yes.
You're Maureen Sullivan's person, correct?
I am.
And you post, and you make comments to newspaper articles, don't you?
What about this? I could have, yeah, sure.
Yes, you've shown it to defense.
Yeah, they have a copy. Well, that's you, right? You reposted something on July 10th, correct?
When was this? July 10th? Okay, yeah.
And what did you repost?
Meaning what? What do you mean? What did I repost? It's an
Yes, it's a
article from Mike.
question.
I'm sorry, it's an article from, it looks like a post from Mike Crawford.
Right.
I reposted that.
You reposted that.
Yes.
Post, but what did you repost?
I can't see it. Like, what's the context of Mike's?
You did it.
I understand that.
Please, hold on, please. I'm not raising my voice anything more than I have a timeout, but hold on a second, ma'am. Just wait for, and Mr. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃 has to do the same. We can't have two people speaking over each other. So Mr. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃, why don't you ask the question again? All right.
You don't remember what you reposted?
I can't see, no, from July 10th, I can't read. My point being is, I'm sorry, I can't see it, is my problem.
I can't.
For the witness, exhibit it up here, maybe it's bigger.
Any objection?
I don't see the relevance to this, Judge. I object.
All right, well,
And there's no foundation as to why it affects our state of mind or applies.
all right, let's first things first, let's mark it for ID.
I can't read it either for the record. Last statements.
Exhibit E.
Maybe bigger, then I would ask her to go up to the screen to look at it. Maybe it won't.
Is there an objection?
I can't read it, so I don't know what it says, so I don't know if I should object to it.
All right, so let's take it a step. I'm sorry, Mr.
So this is, she shared a post by
Boyd,
𝗏𝗏𝗏. So,
Put it on the screen. She can take a look and just yes or no whether it allows you to read it. You can.
so she, in July 10th, this is like a couple weeks after the Reed verdict, shares a post made by 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 says,
You can get off this.
Attorney Tim Bradel on North Andover police use of deadly force against his client, Kelsey.
Stand and approach the screen if you'd like.
So she's not even commenting. She
I'm
just
sorry, Mr.
shares.
Boyd, that was exhibit what?
She just shares it.
Okay, and so it's a statement. I'll let you get back to that.
What does that
Just
prove?
for the record, I could not hear what she just said.
What does that prove?
I could see something, but
Okay.
Right, it's just my eyesight's horrible.
sure.
Yeah, I just can't read the context. It says Attorney Tim Bradel on North Andover police use of deadly force against his client, North Andover police officer 𝗪𝐿cy
Okay, so you reposted
Fitzimmons.
the statement that Attorney Bradel made about the case, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What's that date?
August 14th.
Okay, and you see something that you wrote?
Just yes or no.
Yes, that's my name, and yes, this is it's a comment.
It's a comment that
To a
you
post.
made to an article, correct?
Well,
Hold on a second. Let's mark it for ID, please.
Correct?
I did.
Can you read what you said?
Can I read it?
Can you read out loud what you said?
Oh, sure. Joseph LaHood, who's I'm commenting too. Yeah. Got proof or evidence of this narrative? This incident was a setup from the get-go. Their narrative will not pass the smell test. I hope all involved are ready for their tireless scrutiny that independent media will bring to light through extensive research. Ask Norfolk County, Mass State Police, and Canton Police are doing these days. We have just begun.
We've just begun.
So you feel like you haven't taken the thing?
Not at all.
You
Yeah,
feel that
okay,
you're
if
hitting
we
this to the Karen retrial, right?
Yes.
That there's a cover up.
Well, not that there's a cover-up.
Well, those were your words, weren't they?
I don't know if is that what it says in there? I forget
I
what
didn't
that
see the word
says in
cover
there.
up.
A setup from the get-go, correct?
Correct.
And tireless scrutiny that independent media will bring to light through extensive research. And then you mentioned Norfolk, Mass State Police, and the Canton.
I did,
correct?
yeah.
So a cover.
Well, yeah, it's the judicial system seems to be going awry, and there's more eyes on things now.
Okay, I'm going to show you something else. I'm sorry.
This is great. Just
Let's have that mark on your way out. Thanks.
this is great. The judicial system is going awry. There's more eyes on it now.
I do. I sure can. Yep, I sure did.
Can you read the?
I sure did. I sure did. I sure did.
Today, it's from the North Andover Police Department. Today is National Police Women's Day. Please join us in recognizing Sergeant Katie. Can't say her last name. Do you
If you
want to
can't
spell
read the
it?
last name, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Sergeant Julie Nigro and School Resource Officer Stephanie Rizzo. They have over 43 years of combined experience, and it shows. As all three demonstrate strong leadership inside and outside our department walls. We appreciate their immense dedication to helping both residents and visitors in the North Andover community every day. Thank you for your service.
And you commented on that, correct?
I sure did.
What did you say?
I sure did. I sure did.
Wow, let's hope they stay safe from their colleagues.
I sure did. I sure did.
All right. You
I
made the
love
Thank you,
it.
sir.
I love the confidence. Yeah, motherfucker. I sure did. What was he trying to prove? That she was just biased? She made up that statement? No. Exactly. This is exactly a TC for real. My jury is going to be made up full of Maureens. There are Maureens everywhere in the state. Everywhere. You like what you just saw right there is why I'm never going to be convicted. Good luck finding 12 people that are going to convict me. Like so many people agree with us because the facts are on our side because it is fucked up. Karen Reed was framed. Kelsey Fitzsimmons was shot, put in jail by some witch of a judge. These corrupt law enforcement officers that lie to protect themselves. It's real. It's fucking real. And people see this. Independent media, you heard it. People love this shit. They love it. So there you go. Good luck. Good luck convicting me with a bunch of Marines out there. Okay. So Kelsey's mom went on. She was great. But I'm going to jump right to Kelsey's testimony and get to some of the good stuff here.
And you were the class of 20.
Well,
Were you seeking to see Justin Elaine that day? First go out of work.
I worked up until I gave birth.
She was so composed.
Now, when you were seeking to go back to work, did you get cleared to go back to work in June of 2025?
Yes.
Or in forever.
Did that entail going through certain trainings and getting reviewed and stuff?
I did.
What was the event on the 30th that you had to do to finish that off?
I had CPR training at 1 p.m. on the 30th scheduled.
Was that your last thing you had to kind of go through?
That was it. Yep.
Were you seeking to see Justin Elaine that day?
Yes, we had spoken through text and on the phone in the morning. I was asking if he would come home because he hadn't been home in days to be with Caden while I went to work. And his response basically was, I can pick him up and watch him. And I said, you're not a babysitter. So there was a bit of argument about that.
Text argument.
Yeah, it was like, you're his dad. You're not a babysitter. You can come home. I don't understand picking him up and watching him. That was very odd for me to hear as his father.
Moms don't like when dads say they're going to babysit their own kid, right?
Yes, like you're your dad.
And at some point, just to kind of cut to the chase on that, you made a plan to meet up.
You're a dad.
In North Andover?
Yeah, there was a lot of texting back and forth. He originally said yes, and then he said no, and then he said, I'll meet you tomorrow. And I said, you have work tomorrow? That doesn't make any sense. He worked a 24-hour overnight shift. So
There's something about gas money as well?
yeah, he said that he couldn't drive from Stowe, Massachusetts to North Andover because he had no gas in his truck. And I just was trying to get him to meet me. I'm like, we need to figure this out. I go to work in a couple hours. Like, we need to figure this out. He called me while I was driving to work and said, I'm on my way to North Andover.
Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Let me just rewind you a little bit.
All right.
So there's some texting about this, right?
Yes.
And the texting that you have and that's been kind of passed around in the case, it doesn't end up with, okay, I'll come and meet you at the North Andover Common, right?
No.
So was that arrangement made outside of those texts?
Yes, like looking back now, I think it was strategic, but
I don't want to
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to ask for your opinion
Okay,
on it. I
sorry.
just want to factually, I'd like to ask you, were there a couple calls back?
I agree. Remember, I'm like, because he disputed that. He took the stand and he's like, I never said I was going to go there. And she's like, yeah, I think it was strategic. 5150 used to anything that isn't in text. 5150 will just deny saying it's because you can't prove it. How do you prove that somebody talked shit about you? You know, or how do you prove that somebody said something on the phone and then they just deny it and then it's just your word against them unless you wiretap them, which she did to me several times, right? So that's the thing. And she's like, that's what she means by strategic. Like he didn't want to put that in, but she wouldn't go to the park by herself to meet him there if she didn't think he was going to be there. You know?
Forth that kind of set that up once and for all.
Yes, he called.
It's true. He got to the pool party. He had enough gas to get there, didn't he?
I'm going to bring my son with me, which wasn't a big deal. But when I was on my way, he called me.
Hold on a second. Just to be. Yeah,
I just need to confer with our quick staff. Mr. Wayne, can you turn the.
Kelsey Fitzsimmons matter.
Mike?
Yep.
Thanks.
Yes.
And did he call you about it when you were on your way to CPR training?
He called me. I think I was putting Caden in his car seat. I missed it. And when I got on the road, I called him back.
And what was the conversation about meeting up?
It was quick. It was, Kelsey, I'm on my way to North Andover right now. My mom just gave me gas money. I'll meet you at the common at 2. And I said, okay, I love you, bye. And the phone call had already hung up.
Okay. And after that, you went to work?
I went to work.
With Caden?
With Caden.
And what was the schedule? What was on the schedule for today, for that day at work?
It was a 1-hour CPR training. So it was going to go to about 2 p.m.
So it was 1 to 2?
Yes.
Did you get there on time?
Oh, and by the way, that was the so people couldn't. I was watching the comments on. I watch Melanie stream when I'm in the court. I don't listen because you can't listen, but I read the chat, and people there followed my tweets and stuff. So apparently, people had no idea what was going on about. So a note was passed. The DA Paul Tucker came into the courtroom, and he got the attention of the ADAs, who looked behind, and they saw that her mother was sitting in the courtroom. And she had already testified. And so they, of course, she wants to be there for her daughter's testimony. But these evil bastards are like, write a note to Martha Coakley and leave it to her. And that's what was brought up. It addressed that fact. And she had to leave the courtroom. She had to be escorted out of the courtroom. So she had to leave she had to leave during her daughter's testimony. By the way, I came out later on, and I don't know, like her dad was like, clearly he had been crying. Like it was like intense. Like it was a very intense moment for the parents.
I think I got there a couple minutes early.
What was the layout when you got there? Who was there? Where'd you go? What was the general kind of mood of you going there?
So I knew it was going to be held in the community room. I was told prior that's where it was going to be held. So right when you walk through the officer's entrance of the police department, the community room is the first door on your right. So I just entered right through there.
And what was the car accident thing? Am I missing what car accident thing? Anybody know what you're talking about? Car accident thing? Like that she testified about, or that something happened there? I don't know. Let me know. I'm not sure what car accident thing we're talking about. Okay, back to this.
Baby.
I did.
And it's fair to say this isn't a visit to the police department where you're in full uniform or anything, right?
No, I was in a t-shirt.
And that's because you're going to be training, working on, those rubber dummies that you trained for CPR with, right?
Yes.
Who met you when you got to the police department? Who was there?
Detective Gordon was conducting the training.
I'm sorry, did you say Gordon with a G?
Gordon, yeah, Gordon.
Oh.
And you saw him?
Yes, he was conducting.
I didn't know about that.
Did you see any other friend and colleague officers around that time period?
I saw Lieutenant Domenico as well.
And did you have a chat with him?
We didn't really talk because I was in the middle of the training. It was just we waved to each other. I figured he hasn't held a baby in a long time, so it's kind of funny seeing guys that haven't.
But he hold your baby?
No, Detective Gordon was my drill instructor for my 6-month police academy, so I knew him more because of that. I saw him every day for 6 months.
You trusted him?
Yeah.
And how did the training go?
It went fine, normal, passed.
How long did it take?
It takes about an hour.
What time did you finish?
I think it was around 2 p.m.
Who else did you see while you were at the station?
Just Lieutenant Domenico. I had texted. I was supposed to pick up my radio. I got my radio.
Were you, quote unquote, on the schedule?
Yes.
Start soon?
Yes.
And what was the schedule when you were going to start?
I was going on to the day shift, which is 8 to 4 p.m. And I was supposed to start on July 4th.
You left the police station at about what time? Who's this guy, Hunter Hassam?
That was one of Justin and I's mutual friends that lives in the town of North Andover.
Did you go by his house?
Yes. So the only logical way to get to the common from the police station is to take Osgood Street, which is what I did. And he lives on that street. So I had to drive by his house when I was on my way to the common.
Did you see anything at his house that surprised you?
Yes.
What did you see?
When I drove by, I saw Justin's truck. And at first I thought nothing of it. I thought maybe he got into town before I got out of training and stopped in like that.
I thought he didn't have any gas money. How did he get into town?
That would be normal. But then I started noticing other cars I recognized there as well. And
whose cars were those?
I saw my maid of honor's car, Katrina Caruso. I also saw people standing outside near his pool. I know I saw his sister, Courtney, Justin's sister, and I know I saw Michelle Mitchell, which was another one of my bridesmaids. So I was like, what is going on right now?
This meeting was not something that you knew about?
No, I was supposed to be meeting Justin, and Justin was at our mutual friend's house with people, and I just like was so thrown off. I was confused.
Did you actually see Justin as part of those people you saw around his pool?
I drove by quick. I saw a group of people. I recognized the trucks and the people I did definitively see. Yes. I know Justin was there.
From the truck?
Yeah, from his truck.
Okay. So in terms of your confusion, are you wondering if he's there or if he got a ride to the common or something like that? Why did you just stop there and say, hey, what are you doing?
Well, because I was just driving by, and then I was like, well, that was weird. So I tried calling Justin, and then that's when it just like communication stopped. No more, he was not answering my texts. He was not answering any more phone calls. I even went as far to text his friend Hunter and say, what is going on right now? And am I allowed to say what Hunter said back to me?
So did he respond to you?
He did, yes.
Did it affect your state of mind about what was going on?
No, it confused me even more because he said, oh, everyone's just meeting up for people who forgot things at the house from the bachelorette party that happened a couple of days prior. He said everyone was meeting there to pick up things that they forgot.
What?
And it was like meeting in North Andover. And I was trying to make sense of it. And I was like,
did that add to your confusion?
yeah. So the
No,
person was,
they're
So who said this and how?
Hunter. Hunter
so I
said.
had
Hunter.
texted when Justin had stopped answering me.
Yeah.
I texted his friend whose house he was at, and I knew he was there because I had to drive by from.
This is Hunter.
This is
Okay.
Hunter.
Hunter,
Yes.
Hunter.
Okay. Yes. So I texted Hunter, and he told me everybody was meeting there to get things that they left at the bachelorette party, and it's like that's in my mind that made me even more confused and didn't make sense because everybody lives here, there. Why meet in North Andover?
Let me stop you right there. So as a result of that kind of adding to your mindset, sounds like adding to your confusion, right?
Confusion, yes.
Did you stick to the plan to go meet him at the common, or did you divert somewhere else?
No, I went to the common.
And you got there what time?
It was probably like 2:10.
And did you wait there with Caden?
I did.
And approximately how long did you wait, if you can remember?
It was at least an hour. It could have been more.
Did you ever show up?
He never showed up.
What time did you make a decision to get out of there at some point?
Yeah, well, I was receiving other phone calls, which were adding to my confusion.
Not what was said, but from whom?
They were from Michelle.
And she was the woman who testified here yesterday, right?
Yes.
And she indicated that she was trying to meet up with you, and you were
To get coffee.
and you were trying to focus on
I said,
meeting with Justin.
trying to meet Justin. Like, I love you. I'll call you later. Trying to meet my fiance at the park.
To Michelle, you said that.
Yes.
Okay. Did you go home after that?
Yes.
What time did you go home?
It was at least an hour after 2 p.m. So sometime around maybe 3:30, because I know I was waiting a while at the park. Caden's bottle had run out of milk, or formula. I had to go home.
Now, as you sat here for the last couple of days, you've heard a lot of business about where you parked your car. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So you didn't park in your driveway, right?
No.
And you're adjacent to a school at 125 Phillips Brooks Road, right?
My neighbor to my right is
And
school.
I should say for the record, your home is 125 Phillips Brooks
That's
Road,
my home.
single family house in North Andover, right next to what school?
The Atkinson Elementary School.
And there's a big parking lot next to your fence line?
Yes.
And when you came back from the common, you parked in there.
Yes.
Why did you park in there?
Because I didn't know what was going on. I knew something was going on. I first have my fiance just not showing up to meet me and not talking to me anymore. And then somebody that doesn't know I saw them trying to call me, and they're trying to meet up with me. I'm trying to meet up with Justin. And a bunch of other people were there. That didn't make sense. And I thought they were going to come to my house or something. So I didn't want anyone to know I was home. So I just parked at school.
Okay. Did this have anything to do with the North Andover Police
It
Department?
had nothing to do with the North Andover Police Department.
So you parked at the school, and
So there, mystery solved. She's trying to trick her friends. That's it. She thinks something is shady. I'd be like, what the fuck's going on here? No one's returning my text messages. Why are my friends hanging out with my fiance who we just broke up with? What the fuck is going on here? Something's afoot.
as a young new mom, you probably had a lot of stuff you had to carry.
I had his diaper bag. I had him in his little carrier. And I think I had my phone in my hands and my house keys.
And you walked around and you went to your door?
Yeah, it was genuinely a 60-second walk to my car from my house.
Sure.
From my car to my house.
And you went into that porch door that we've seen on the video here.
Yeah, my front door, it leads to a porch.
And then you got up on the porch and you make a left into another door into the house, right?
Yep.
Okay. What happened when you first got home? What did you do?
I made Kate in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I called my mom. I asked my mom if she would come over because it was like, what do I do? Like, what's going on?
So you wanted some support from mom?
Yeah, so like advice. My mom's my best friend. I knew she'd come over and maybe like have a
Figure
different.
this out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll withdraw that, Judge. I'm just trying to move on. What was your?
It's right on. I assume the objection is for leading?
Repeatedly, yes.
Okay. If you could, just stay away from leading. Thank you.
What was your state of mind about having mom come over?
I was sad. I was really confused, and I wanted her advice.
How far away does your mother live?
She lives in Fitzimmons, so it was her house is about 7 to 8 minutes away, but I think she was on her way home from work at the time, and she has to drive right by my house, or my old house.
How was Caden at the common and getting home? How was he behaving in terms of fussiness, or was okay, or sleeping, or quiet, or what?
I ran out of his bottle while at the common. I thought I'd brought enough. I think I drove right home.
And then at home, you made another bottle and started to, and you sat, did you visit with your mom for a while and consult with her on the situation?
Yeah, we sat on the couch while I fed Caden. She did some, my house was messy, so she was just trying to pick up around the house a little bit for me. And we were talking.
And did she leave at some point?
She did.
When was that?
Probably had her over for about an hour. So maybe 5 o'clock she left.
The mom lives close by, luckily.
Was her car in the driveway?
Hers was, yes.
And obviously she got in the car and left in her car.
Yeah, I told her that I was going to be packing and probably going camping with me. I just figured I don't have work till the 4th, so that's what I'm going to do. And
the idea of sitting around.
I just didn't. To clear my mind, I've brought Kate in there 2 times before, and for a 4-month-old baby, he crushed it up there. He loved it. So I just thought, I texted Justin, I'm going to my land. He knows what that is. He proposed to me there. He knows I call it my happy place, and I told him I'll send you pictures when I get service, and I love you because there's not good service up there. And that was the last thing I ever said to Justin.
When your mom pulled out of the driveway, did you get a visit from the North Andover police?
I heard someone knocking on my front door when I walked up to the porch.
How long after your mom left did the police knock on your door?
I know now approximately 3 minutes.
And what were you able to do to figure it out pretty well?
My home has a lot of surveillance. My dad owns a security company, so my home had a lot of surveillance outside. So I was just curious, how long was it after my mom left that the police came? And I believe it was about 3 minutes approximately.
Can you use the video system to refresh yourself on lap time intervals and such?
Yeah. Yes.
And while we're on that topic, are there timestamps on the clips from your house?
Yes.
And do you have any knowledge of the accuracy of those timestamps?
At some point, one of the daylight savings happened, so my cameras were 1 hour off.
And how off? Which way off were they?
If it said it was 5 o'clock, it was actually 4 o'clock.
Okay, so it's an hour ahead.
Okay.
So,
hour ahead.
All right. So in terms of any clips that come from your house, does the timestamp show hour ahead?
Yes.
Okay.
So are you referring to what's in evidence?
Yes.
Okay. All of those video clips?
Yes, Your Honor. So just want to make sure, did we say that right, that the clips are an hour ahead, or is the actual clip an hour behind?
I have to think about this. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We can come back to it later. I do that all the time. That's okay. How long after your mother left did you hear a knock on the door?
3 to 5 minutes.
Where were you when you heard the knock?
I was sitting on the couch feeding Aidan in my living room.
What did you do when you heard the knock?
I put the bottle on the coffee table. I got up with Kate in my arms, and I opened up the door.
You walked out on the porch and
I walked out on the porch. So there's 2 doors. My front door leads to a porched-in area. Walked out onto the porch and opened up the front door for 3 police officers.
And who were they?
It was Lieutenant Daly, Officer Noonan, and Officer Houston.
And Lieutenant, let's just go through each of them real quick for a second.
Okay.
Lieutenant Daly, you talked about in terms of training and hiring and all that, right?
Yes. On one of our shifts, kind of more than just you're just my coworker.
Particular call.
Yes.
And just so we don't have to dwell all over it, was that response just you and him?
I believe I was the first officer in with Officer 𝗲𝗄𝗏 and closest with Officer 𝗲𝗄𝗏. So
Officer Noonan?
Yeah, we stood outside of the scene for a long time. All of us, everybody who was on that call, and
traumatic incident.
had a meeting debrief in the chief's office. He had pizza delivered.
Okay. And just in general, fast forwarding all the way to June 30th of 25, did you ever have any problems or issues with Officer Noonan?
No.
Did he ever, to your knowledge, did he ever have any problems or issues with you?
No.
So there's Noonan. And then who's the third officer there?
Officer Houston.
And we saw him testify here as well yesterday, right?
Yes.
And what was your relationship with Officer Noonan?
Noonan or Houston?
I'm sorry, Houston. Thank you.
I was closer with Houston. Probably out of the 3 of them. I think they've met before. The dogs, I mean. Yeah.
He's a work friend.
He was a work friend. And we didn't just come in, and I was like, okay, all right. When I opened the door, Lieutenant Daly put his foot into my porch, and they just said, we need to come in, and I said, okay.
Yeah, remember she turns around with the baby, kind of protects the baby, says, we need to come in. He puts his foot in the door, like, bitch. She knows this is not good.
And then did you turn around and you and Kaden walked back in the house and they followed you?
Yes.
So what happened when the 4 of you, 5 of you, got into the living room area?
They asked me, Lieutenant Daly asked me to put Caden down in his car seat. They refer to it as like a rocker does rock, but it was his car seat. And I was in the middle of feeding him. So when I put him down.
And yes, there are absolutely people crying in court, man. Like women, the audience is mostly women. Especially with the Kelsey case, is an overwhelmingly, it's same thing with Karen. There's something about small women being picked on by aggressive male officers that causes a certain reaction in women. And they were definitely, there was a lot of tears in the audience, in the crowd, from people. It was emotional. I saw a lot of people wiping back that shit. Absolutely. I saw that. Especially when she talked about suicide.
He was obviously crying, and I was like, whatever this is, I'm going to hold my son. Because they had a folder. I knew they were going to give me something. Wasn't
at that moment?
Yeah.
Did you have any idea what was going on?
No, obviously I knew something was going on. Police are in my house, my coworkers, but when they told me to put Caden down, I was like a little hesitant because I'm in the middle of feeding him. And then I listened, I put him down, and he started crying. And I was like, no, I'm going to hold my son, whatever this is. Like, I'm going to feed my baby and read it.
Oh.
So I picked Caden back up, and I had him on my lap while I opened the envelope. And that's when Lieutenant Daly said, Justin filed a restraining order against you.
So you're trying to read it and he's talking to you and the baby's crying?
Nope, baby isn't crying anymore. I picked him up and I'm feeding him.
What did Daly say to you about the situation?
I asked a lot of questions, like why? I was supposed to meet him at the
That's
park
the real question.
a couple hours ago. I'm confused. He said he didn't know anything. And I said, do you have the affidavit so I can read what I'm being accused of? And they didn't. And they said they didn't know the details. And he said that Caden was on it as well. And
did that affect your state of mind?
Yes.
How so?
I knew in that moment I was going to have to hand my 4-month-old to a police officer to be brought out of my house.
How did that make you feel?
I don't know if there's a word. Sad.
Were you able to have a minute or two to kind of comprehend it, or did something else immediately happen?
I comprehended it. I was asked to pack a bag for Caden for about 2 weeks.
Who asked you that?
Lieutenant Daly said that the court date was in 14 days. So he said, pack enough for 2 weeks. And
unbelievable.
Yes.
2 weeks.
So
2 weeks, packing up for 2
You
weeks.
didn't take it upon yourself to want to do that?
No, they told me that I needed to pack a bag for Caden because he was going to go be with Justin for at least the 2 weeks till the next court date.
Who was there when that was when that came up?
That was when the 3 of them were all in my living room.
Did Houston or Noonan say anything at this point?
No.
Imagine telling a mother with a newborn, a 4-month-old baby that she's just getting attached to, like, yeah, so you're just going to go 2 weeks without seeing it. What, dude, couldn't go one night, you know? You just go 2 weeks, just pack your shit out. It just happens out of nowhere. Just these 3 male cops show up, just pack, you got to pack 2 weeks worth of shit. And we're just going to stand here and watch you do it. Oh my God.
I knew if I put Caden back in his car seat, he was going to cry. He loves being held.
So the plan at that point was to go get some stuff?
Yes.
So you had to put Caden somewhere?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I handed Caden to Officer Noonan.
Why'd you give him to Officer Noonan?
I could say I trusted all of them. But I knew Officer Noonan I know Officer Houston has no kids, and I knew Daly seemed like preoccupied, and I knew Noonan had kids. So I guess that's probably what went through my mind, but it really wasn't that much of a thought. I just knew I had to have someone hold him because I didn't want him screaming in his car seat on the ground.
Was he someone that you trusted to do that?
Yes.
What happened when you handed your baby to Officer Noonan?
He took Caden from my arms.
And what about the bottle?
He took the bottle as well.
You know, what did he do with respect to the bottle and Caden?
He was trying to feed him.
Did Officer Noonan exhibit any resistance or discomfort or anything with respect to holding the baby?
Nope.
No, I think he said like, "Oh, I haven't done this in a while," like something like that.
What was your intention at that point to do?
I had to pack his bags.
And are you, as you're starting to go figure that out in terms of luggage, what do you need, where's he going, etc., are you having kind of an unfolding thought process, if you will? I'm just asking her what she's thinking, Your Honor. I mean, what are you thinking?
So it took. I grabbed one of my duffel bags and I first went in the kitchen, and as I was putting the bottles in the bag, it was just kind of like all setting in exactly what was happening. And there was just so many unknowns. And as I was packing things, I was like, okay, Justin just broke up with me via restraining order. We have a wedding in 4 months. Caden is
He broke up
not going to be
via
with me for 2 weeks. That's an eternity
I love
for
it.
a mom.
I love this.
Any mom. And everyone was just brushing over the fact
Yeah.
that it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it was like 2 weeks without Caden.
Like all this.
And I just kept.
This is where it starts getting heavy. And I'm so glad she said that, because Noonan was just like, yeah, we told her, we comforted her. We told her, you'll see the baby in 2 weeks. That's such a male thing to say. Oh, yeah, you'll see her in 2 weeks. Telling a newborn mother that, like, that's crazy.
And my mind was just going fast. Like, I can't work overtime because I have a son now. I can't afford my home by myself without overtime. It was just, I lost everything. Even my doggy was on the restraining order. My dog Maverick was on the restraining order.
Maverick
So
on the
my
restraining
son,
Your dog or
he was
Justin's dog?
he was my dog. So I saw my baby go, my fiance, my dog, my house.
My
And I
dog.
knew that was going to be my job too. Because whatever I was accused of wasn't good if at restraining order.
And you didn't have the affidavit?
No.
Where did you go after you went to the kitchen with the duffel bag and the box?
I went all around the house because his diapers were in one room on shelves. His bottles and formula were in the kitchen. His toys were in the living room. And his books and stuff were upstairs with his clothes.
Strength to do this,
Tell us what
man.
you did on the first floor before you got upstairs. What was it?
On the
What was
first,
the packing there?
on the first floor was bottles and formula, and he was just getting introduced to like purees, and I had just ordered purees from Target, so I packed.
I mean, keep in mind, just talking about this has to be so hard because she hasn't seen him in 8 months. So just being forced to talk about your last moments with him, you know, it's hard. And so the strength that she had doing this is impressive. She held it together, but I think showed enough emotion to make the judge believe that she is not a manipulator or a liar. I think she had like the perfect demeanor for this.
All those two. Then I went into the, thank you. I went into, it was like our exercise room that had shelving on the wall, and there was just like a ton of boxes of diapers. I just put those aside and was like, 2 weeks, a lot of diapers, so keep the boxes. And then I went upstairs.
Right, before you got upstairs, part of the order was that you had to give up your firearms, right?
Yes.
Did you say anything to the officers about the location of your firearms?
Yes, I did.
What did you say?
I told them that they were in the basement.
Was that true?
No,
Why did you tell them that?
because I didn't want them to take them away,
Why not?
because I wanted to be alone with my firearm and take my life.
When did you make that decision?
I made that decision as I realized I had just lost everything in a 15-second conversation with my coworker.
Where were your firearms?
They were upstairs in a green safe
In your bedroom?
in my bedroom.
Welcome to Lawrence. Welcome to Lawrence.
So you went upstairs, you mentioned?
Yes.
What was your state of mind at that point, whether or not Justin was coming over or not?
I didn't think Justin was coming over. I knew that Caden was going to Justin, but I would never think Justin was coming over.
Why not?
That's just not like normal practice to put a plaintiff and defendant in the same room intentionally. Usually you're doing the opposite as police officers. So I didn't think Justin was in the house.
The opposite being what? What's the opposite of what they did here?
They let Justin in my house.
So what's the normal procedure?
Normal procedure is to separate people. It's like the first thing you do on any call where there's any sort of argument. You separate.
Now, you've served restraining orders, you mentioned, right?
Yes.
Is there a provision in those orders for accessing property?
I don't know about specific provisions. I can tell you like what I've done before on a call where there was a restraining order involved. I don't know if it's a provision or not, though.
Okay, we'll move on from there.
Okay.
So you were going to go upstairs,
Yes.
and you had made that awful decision already?
Yes.
What was your state of mind about whether or not you wanted to involve any police officers in that?
I didn't want to involve anybody. I was trying to get everybody away from me.
Why didn't you want to involve any police officers in that? These police officers in particular?
I wanted to be alone so I could kill myself. I decided that I was going to take my own life.
Jesus Christ. That's so heavy. So
I
heavy.
didn't want to involve anybody else in that. I'll just.
Did you go upstairs back and forth a couple times, or did you just go up there once?
I think I went up I think I went up at least twice. The second time I went up, I was up there for a while.
Do you remember who accompanied you on each of these trips?
It was Officer Houston and Officer Noonan.
Was that the first time or the second time?
That was the second time.
So we don't have to listen to the whole thing. And we watched most of this. Just how, I don't know, she came across as very believable. Very, very strong. I was worried about what was going to happen up there. I don't know Kelsey Fitzsimmons like this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what she's going to be like how. Imagine if Karen Reed took the stand. You ever think about that? If Karen Reed took the stand, what that'd be like? Karen Reed's a talker. And, very sharp person, could explain it all, whatever. But Karen Reed gets, like, emotional. You know what I mean? Like, Kelsey Fitzsimmons, in the couple conversations I've had with her, this is how she talks. She's very stoic. Is that the right word? And very, like, just kind of monotone. Kind of, like, less personality. Like, less. Karen Reed has a shit ton of personality, and is very animated. And so, and this one's very soft-spoken. So they're very different. I think this is better suited for the stand. I think it was smart to keep Karen Reed off the stand because if Karen Reed went at it with Hank Brennan, I think Hank Brennan would just try to goad her and try to make her seem. That's what Hank's good at, is pissing people off, getting under your skin. And I think he would have got under her skin. I think he would have made Karen Reed upset, which is exactly what he would want to do. And you can't, this one, I was like wondering, like, what's it going to be like? Are they going to get her upset? So with Bradel did a fantastic job of walking her through this, right? He asks her questions that allow her to humanize herself and make her seem believable and likable. And he did the same thing with me when I took the stand. I took the stand a couple times during the restraining order hearings with Lindsay, and he just walked me through it. And he brought up the stuff that I remember he asked me, he's like, what's it, what has this been like for you to have this order on you? I'm like, it's hell. I can't go anywhere. I always worry she's going to be there. I always, shit like that. And, he just knows the right questions to ask to, like, get you to bring, like, he guides you along, and he was guiding her along very well. And so he did a great job, and she did a fantastic job of that, and so then the real test was going to be cross-examination. So I was a little nervous about this. But what you saw today, as Mark Betterow called it, I mean, I retweeted this. Let me see the exact Betterow tweet on this. Let's see what he said. He had some banger tweets today. I can confidently say that in almost 30 years of practice, the cross-examination of Kelsey Fitzsimmons was 100% unequivocally the worst I have ever seen. Absolutely stunning. There is no basis whatsoever to find her guilty. None. How do you really feel, Mr. Betterow? I'm watching the KF trial from the airport, and through 15 minutes of her cross can say this. So far, Kelsey Fitzsimmons has been as impressive a testifying defendant as I've seen. This ADA's cross is argumentative about things that Kelsey cannot be expected to know. Clearly, he is trying to build up Noonan's bona fides, but he really can't do this effectively through her. An atrocious start to his cross, both in tone and substance. That's not good. All right. And the fact that they can't, the judge was like, do you really need to go to the crime scene? It's over. This is 1000% going to be an acquittal. So let's watch the cross. Let's just jump right to the cross and see what a disaster this was.
You know what your time is a police officer. Domestic.
Yes.
You know what your time is a police officer. Domestic calls are most dangerous.
Domestic calls are most dangerous.
They're the most dangerous, right? That's where.
I don't ever call thinking it could be dangerous, but I guess domestics are. If that's a fact, then yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you just keep your voice up?
Yes, sorry.
Sure. Well, okay, we'll step back and we'll go different. Every call is dangerous, right?
It could be.
Sure. Well, you have to treat it that way.
Yes.
Because you don't know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
Domestic calls, like we just talked about, can be especially dangerous because you're dealing with people who are sometimes highly emotional.
Right. That's why you always separate when you get to a scene.
And we'll get to that, okay? And I agree with you, that you need to keep people apart.
Right.
You also need to-
Excuse me one moment. Yeah, you're going to need to ask closer cross to the mic. Okay. Thank you.
When you walk into a domestic situation, whether it's a restraining order that you're serving, whether it's a call for some sort of domestic violence, right? You walk in there with a heightened sense of awareness. Is that fair to say?
As a police officer, you always have a higher sense of awareness.
Okay. But domestics are kind of a different animal, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And because emotions are involved, true?
Yes.
And sometimes the opposite of love isn't hate, it's anger, and things can go in 9 different directions in a minute. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
When you're dealing with someone who you know has a mental health past, it can be even more volatile, correct?
Volatile.
Yes.
I wouldn't use that word as it pertains to mental health, sir, respectfully.
There is as a police officer, there's a heightened sense of awareness, right? You're taking all the information in.
In every call, yes,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, domestic violence calls do it. You don't agree with me?
No, I do. I agree with you on every call. A heightened sense of awareness is key to being a police officer. So domestic, car accident, anything. We go to work in a bulletproof vest.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, we have to.
When you go to a domestic call, we talk, or you talk, you try to separate people, right?
Yes.
Because if they come together or they're you see each other sometimes, bad things can happen. Right?
Yes.
And so when you walk into a domestic violence situation, or any situation, right? Your first order of business is to keep everybody safe. Fair to say?
Yes.
The people who called, right?
Yes.
Yourself.
Yes.
If you have a partner, your partner.
Yep, the other officers, yeah.
If there are family members there, you want to keep them safe. True.
Yes, police officer, your job is to keep everyone, including yourself, safe.
If there are children, you want to keep them safe.
Everybody.
Everyone's safe.
And if you think there are guns in the house, that is a particularly serious concern for you also, right?
Yes.
For your safety.
Yes.
For your partner's safety.
Yes.
For the children's safety, for everybody, right?
For everybody.
And you know that.
Everyone.
Right?
I know that.
And so you know when you walk into a scene, when you think there may be some mental health issues, that there may be some weapons, that you don't take your eyes off anybody, correct?
Yes.
Right. So you don't let someone walk into a room by themselves, right?
You shouldn't know.
You should have.
You
I
shouldn't.
think with Officer Houston, you should be in their pocket, right?
I'm not familiar with that phrase. Did he say that?
He did.
Okay.
Well, if you're not familiar, you should be right near, right?
Yes.
Because at any point, someone can grab a weapon,
True.
use a weapon,
True.
and especially when there's a heightened sense of volatility on some of these calls, right?
Yes.
And you know that as a police officer, right?
Yes.
And that's just not kind of common sense, anyway, right?
Yes.
And you've been trained on that.
Yes.
And so you don't take your eyes off any of the parties, true?
True.
You don't leave them alone.
True.
That's what you're trained to do. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's pretty much common sense of what you do.
That's what you're supposed to do. Yes.
Right. Okay. We agree on that.
We do.
Now, if there is you were a police officer, so you know other divisions of the forces, right? Like SWAT. You understand what SWAT is, right?
I was a very new police officer. I was only on for about 2 years. I'm not familiar with SWAT. I know it a little bit.
Okay, so we'll talk about what you know.
Okay.
SWAT is like a special weapons tactical team.
Yeah, so I know that. I don't know exactly what their job functions are or what they do.
You understand that they respond to highly volatile situations that are dangerous.
Yes.
If there is a weapon involved, someone's barricaded, there's an active shooter, they respond.
Yeah, they go to everything that's bad.
Because they're highly trained to deal with those situations. True?
True.
They're the ones who see guns all the time, see violence all the time, and have to react to a weapon. True?
True.
Because not every call.
I'll be right back. So we're like we're like 3 minutes into this. I don't even know what the fuck point he's making. Yes. Domestics are volatile. Yes. Okay. The fuck's your point, bro? Be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. Let's do it. Let's finish this puppy up. Let's go.
Involved weapons. Some of them are, like you said, car accidents. True.
Every call is very different.
Yeah. And so, but those guys are trained and picked because they deal with that stuff well. True.
I don't know how they're picked or trained. I know nothing about their training or the process of becoming on SWAT.
Okay, but you know to call them if something happens.
That wouldn't be my job, but my supervisors. But yes, we can agree to that. Yes, they get called to bad things. I know this.
They get called to bad things and have to deal with that.
Yes.
Good job,
You know that as a police officer, you need to qualify and get trained in order to do certain things. If you're on, like a domestic violence officer, may have to be trained in domestic violence to be in a unit like that.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have that on my department, but I have heard of that on other departments. Like a domestic violence detective would probably be trained more in that sense.
Right. So there's sometimes specialties.
Yes.
That people focus on that
Yeah.
people are prepared to deal with better than other people. True.
Yes.
Officer Noonan was on the SWAT team. You know him, right? You know that.
I know that now.
You knew he started in Andover. That's where he began his career.
I knew he started in North Andover.
Sorry, North Andover. And then he went to Lawrence.
Yes.
And Lawrence is really a different
Here we go.
atmosphere than North Andover. You agree with me there?
Yes.
North Andover,
He wants to be like, so there's like Dominican people and nobody speaks English here and everyone's brown, right? Okay, cool.
North Andover does get the flood in of Lawrence, though.
there's some crossover,
Yes.
right? But you know what that crossover is.
Yes, true.
It's not to disparage any community, right? But Lawrence has more guns than North Andover.
I think so. I don't know off personal knowledge, but I would assume.
They have more gangs.
Yes, that I do know. Yes.
They have more drugs.
Yes.
They have more violence.
Yes.
They have more need for people who can deal with that stuff, correct?
Yes.
And you know that Officer Noonan worked in Lawrence for years.
I did know that. Yes.
You did know that, right?
Yeah, I did.
And then he came back. Did you say you were on the job or not on the job when he came back?
I was already on the job when he came back.
Okay. And you know he came back from Lawrence, right? And when he came back from Lawrence, it was really, he was the most experienced person on the force at this point, right? From what he had been through.
I didn't know his experiences.
Okay, you knew that he was.
I honestly thought I looked at my lieutenants as that
Well,
for me.
Officer Noonan, back when you were on the job, you looked at him.
Yeah, I looked up to all the senior officers that were willing to train me or give me any type of advice.
Well, we're talking about Officer Noonan.
He did that. So yes.
If you look up to him, you knew he was experienced, correct?
Yes.
You knew he was a by-the-book kind of guy, that he was going to teach you well.
Yes.
You went to him for that.
I went to him for advice.
Right. Then you went to him for advice because you thought you knew what he was doing, right? He'd been through the ringer. That's why you went, right?
No, he told me, he reached out to me and told me that, you know, he's been on bad calls before and this is how he handles it.
Right.
And
And you appreciated that.
I did.
And it seemed like that was true with the advice you was giving him.
Yes, yes.
Gentleman about it. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Justin's a different story in your life, correct? Justin,
Lawrence.
June 30th, you had said that what was happening was a surprise. I don't know if you used those words, but the demeanor you gave off was this came out of it, right?
I was very confused.
You were confused, but stuff, and we're not going to get into it, but stuff that happened that weekend before that Saturday.
We're not going to get into it.
That would give you some inkling that something was wrong, right?
I was aware me and Justin were in an argument. I was aware the second I woke up in the morning. That's why we were planning to meet.
So it wasn't a surprise that there was some strife between you and him at that point.
No, I knew that. I'm saying I was more surprised about being ditched at the common and the police involvement. Those were the.
Look how calm she is. It's just everything. Her demeanor was amazing. Amazing. Just like, because he's trying to get, and he's like, no. Like, she's just respectful. I was amazed by that. Amazed by
You
that.
on that Sunday to check in on you, correct?
I got accused of.
I'm not asking what you were accused of.
They came to see if I was okay. They thought I was in a car accident. I was never in a car accident.
Okay. But they came to you because they were concerned about you, right?
They thought I was in a car accident.
And on the Monday,
somebody told them that.
On the Monday,
Somebody told him that.
Well, okay, we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Okay.
On the Monday, you were surprised by this order, correct?
Yes, I was surprised by the order.
And you say that you have.
And I see this comment. It's because she's being truthful that she's calm, but that's not true. When I tell the truth to a bunch of liars, I can get very frustrated because like dealing with liars is very frustrating when you're telling the truth, and that's my problem. Is I'm like, it makes your head want to explode. Like when you hear all these people, when you're the subject of lies all the time, like I am, like people are always lying on me, spreading misinformation. Obviously, 5150, the 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗎s of the world, just spreading lies on you. And then it's frustrating to keep your cool when people are lying about you. I think it gets harder. And I think that's the problem with Karen is Karen, like these people are lying on her, and she's like me. I don't think it's very hard to keep your composure when people are lying on you. So I think like telling the truth doesn't mean you're going to be calm. It's actually like harder to keep your composure, I think, when you're telling the truth.
Right.
You eventually think that you're, Aidan's going to be taken away from you for a short period of time, right?
You say short, and that's fine. But he was 4 months old, and it was 14 days.
You say
That's an eternity for me.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
You
This is so good.
have no idea why this is happening.
Right.
You eventually think that you're, Aidan's going to be taken away from you for a short period of time, right?
You say short,
Oh,
and that's fine.
Perfect.
But he was 4 months old, and it was 14 days. That's an eternity for me.
I'll grant you that.
Wow. I'll grant you that. I mean, he's so bad at this. Oh, I could have done so much better than him. So much better.
Okay.
I grant you that.
Thank you.
That is a significant.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
So I'm sure that was devastating to you, right?
Yes, yes.
And it was Justin who was doing that to you, right? It wasn't the police.
No, right.
It was Justin who went to court, who said,
See what he's doing here? I guarantee in closing, his whole thing is gonna be she was trying to get to Justin. She knew Justin was in the house, and Noonan was in the way. That's why Noonan said that whole thing about I think she was just trying to get to Justin through me. I'm telling you, that is what he's going for there. Like you wanted to get to Justin, didn't you? But he doesn't push it. The guy doesn't go full Hank. I hate Hank Brennan. Fucking hate him. Right? But he could get under people's skin a lot better than this guy. This guy is not good.
I should have custody of that child, correct?
Correct.
And so that's who's doing these things to you, right?
Yes.
So that's who your anger was focused on, right?
I mean, I don't even know if I got to the point of grieving, of anger yet. I don't think I was there yet. But if any emotions any of my emotions were directed towards somebody, it would be Justin.
Sure.
Yes.
Because you felt betrayed.
I did.
And
I did.
And you knew he was going to get Aidan.
I knew that I had to give Aidan to the police, for the police to give Aidan to Justin.
You know the police don't take custody of children, right?
I don't know that.
Well, as your time as a police officer, you haven't actually taken custody of a child and left.
I have.
So you're telling this court, you're telling the judge that if there is not a family member to take a child because something happens, that you actually take the child and leave, you don't call DCF?
Well, you always file a 51A after the fact.
And then they come to the home and they take it, right?
So my
It's
calling one was
take
different.
it.
I did end up taking the juvenile in my police car. I drove her to the police station where she met with family members.
Okay, so how old was this girl?
She was maybe 12.
Okay, so we're talking about infants, right? You wouldn't transport it.
No, I guess.
So, counsel testifying about facts that are not evidence and proven. They're sort of being suggested as if.
This is not going well.
Which might be
This is not going well, bro.
So overruled, but Mr. 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝘂𝗍, you can just allow Ms. Fitzsimmons to complete her answer. And like all witnesses, I don't want you folks speaking over my time.
Of course.
Thank you.
So you agree with me that DCF didn't.
But like you got like that, he wants her to say that she was betrayed because that gives her motive to go and shoot her way through Noonan to get to Justin. That is, I guarantee that's going to be his summation in closing, is that she shot Noonan was collateral damage to get to Justin. Okay. But she forgot to cock the gun. So as soon as she shot him down, she was going right for Justin, which was just bonkers.
Come together an infant, right?
Yes, I've never personally
Yeah,
had a call
exactly.
Well, okay, let's just talk about your career. You said you.
I think so. I can't tell you for sure.
Well, let's just talk about your career. When did you graduate the academy? May of 2024?
Yes.
Okay, and you went out on leave on when?
I went light duty while I was pregnant. I was about 20 weeks pregnant when the duty belt didn't clip anymore.
Okay, but you went out on February 16th. That was Kate's birthday, right? So that's your official leave?
Yeah, that's my official leave.
Okay, so 20 weeks, and he was, so you do the math. How many months were you actually on the road?
Okay, let's see. So like 7 months, and then I was light duty. So I graduated the police academy in May of 2024, and I went out on maternity leave.
Yeah. And after your choice was stay in the station and work that way, right?
Yes.
But you were actually on the road, going to calls, doing the dirty work as a police officer, just for 7 months, right?
This is it.
Now I'm going to jump back to June 30th at the house after the police comes, right? You called your mom. You asked to do that, and they let you do that, right? There's no prohibition.
All right, you're talking about after the police?
Yes, after the police. Right?
Yes, I called my mom.
And she came.
And by the way, I skipped over the part in her testimony when she says, "I'm a fucking idiot." That was the one part of her testimony I didn't like. I'm like, you didn't have to tell him that. And I bet you he was thinking, like, why didn't I call a paramedic? Why couldn't I call a paramedic? She said that in front of them. Why couldn't I get one of them on here to impeach her? You know, because if she said that in front of a paramedic, whew, and a paramedic would agree with that, he's done. They're done. That was an interesting revelation that she said that. I wouldn't even said that part because I'm like, it just seemed a little. I tweeted this out. I didn't like that. I thought she did amazing. I didn't like that part. I just thought that was like a little too Hollywood. Like, gosh darn it. Fuck. I really wish I'm such a fucking idiot. I wanted to kill myself. I just didn't like it. I don't like the way it sounded. There was something about it I just didn't like. And he looked at the other ADA when she said that, and he smiled, and they both wrote something down. And I'm like, they're going to bring this up. And they just never brought it up. They never talked about it.
Yes.
Okay. She came. Now, you called her your best friend, right?
My mom is.
Your best friend, right? And so you could have talked to her, right?
Yes.
When Justin arrived, you knew he came in the house, right? You heard it.
No.
You didn't hear him come in the house?
No.
You knew he was coming to get the baby.
I never expected a police officer to allow the victim or plaintiff in a case to enter the home where the defendant is.
Well, you knew she was getting the child.
Well, that backfired. That I never thought such a shit show would happen in my town, in my department, inside my house. I never thought such a circus would happen. That they would be that fucking incompetent to allow this kid in the house. I never thought that. Ever.
Yeah, but I thought that I passed Aidan off to walk outside. I never thought, or I never knew Justin was in my home.
You knew he was coming to the house?
I thought they would do it at the school, but yes, I knew he was going to be in the vicinity. I never expected or knew he walked through my front door.
when you went upstairs, and we'll talk about that green chest you called it, correct?
Yes.
Was it locked?
No.
Okay, you just flip it open.
Yes.
When you claimed you pulled the trigger, it clicked.
It did.
It was not around in the chamber.
Correct.
There was a full magazine in it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, you used that gun to go shooting on Friday, true?
That's true. That's why I didn't chamber around. Thank God.
And when you're doing shooting, were you qualifying? What were you doing on that Friday?
We have a qualification. Yeah.
Okay, so you had to do that, right?
Yeah, because
when you're shooting for qualifying, when you're at the range, how do you hold your pistol?
2 hands, and then there's some where they say use your strong hand or your left hand. You're not strong.
But your typical reflex is 2 hands, true?
Yeah, that's
2 hands extended.
that's most of the range day. Yeah.
Right, that's your training. That's the safest way to shoot a gun, true? So that's your default.
Judge, you're gonna love that.
That's what we do at the range for those 8 hours, other than the one part where you shoot with your strong and non-strong hands.
So on Friday, you spent hours shooting with 2 hands.
Yes. Yeah, it was Friday. Yes.
Well, I'm asking you.
I think so.
Now, you stated that after the police came and you were starting to process this. True?
Yes.
It took a bit for you to process it. You let your life unravel. True?
Yeah, as I was packing things, it just started to hit me like this is going, this is going, this is going. Just as I was walking around the
So now we're getting somewhere. Now that he starts asking her this, I'm like, okay, now he's going somewhere. He's asking, oh, your life's unraveling. This is where I thought he was going to start being a douchebag, go full Hank. And that's what I would have done if I was a douchebag like him. But I don't work for evil people. I would have been like, so you were pretty desperate, huh? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, so you were pretty mad, huh? Yeah. So you were real mad, weren't you? Yeah. And Officer Noonan, yeah, he was in your way, wasn't he? Yeah. So you wanted to shoot him. You wanted to get that baby back, didn't you? Didn't you? No. Yeah, you did. Didn't you? Yeah. You really wanted that back, didn't you? I would just fucking pedal to the metal right there. But that's his only way out, is to get her rattled. She's not rattled at all. You got to get her rattled. That's the only play he has here. And he doesn't even try. And like, so he starts going at it, and then
I just was like,
all those things are going, and it's all because of what Justin did.
yes.
That's it. All those things are happening, and it's all because of what Justin did.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe that was the end of it, man. I'm like, that's it? How exactly did they prove that she wasn't? Her whole defense is, I was trying to kill myself. How did they prove that she didn't? How did they prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she wasn't trying to kill herself? How? How? It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. I don't know how they had dude, this is going to be a quick acquittal tomorrow, I think. Gonna have some good closings. The guy goes, I don't even need 30 minutes for my closing. I'm good. I'm like, that's it? Wow. Holy shit. All right. I'm exhausted, in case you tell it. I really yawned. I don't know why I'm so tired this week, but yeah. Let me read some turtle chats and then we'll end it. All right, here we go. We have here, let's see. What was the last one I read? I think the Albert Family Rock. Yeah. All right. Laura sends $5. And her comment is, if Maureen stages homes for new or renovated houses, there's your in. Tell her you're looking for someone to set up and decorate your new house. You're getting all those wish list items. Love you, man. Well, thank you. Yes, maybe I need to do that. Yeah, you have a whole house. I don't even know how to fill it up. I don't even know what I'm doing. So thank you. Let's see. Linda sends $5 and says, hey, Turtle Dove, so happy to see you back in your element. Your whole demeanor is much more positive. P.S. Cryturd said after Maureen testified, people would be lining up to interview him. He really said that? Keep up the great work, Doc. Free the turtle. Oh, my God, dude. You guys, he gets one mention in court by Maureen. Oh, God. It goes right to his head. Lori Zoe sends $5 and has the comment. It's funny how PK said he never left her And she said, who's PK? PK? Said he never left her. And she said she sent the car seat down to Justin, and both cops went down the stairs. We see Justin leave with the car seat, right? We do see him leave with the car seat. So I'm not sure what your point is. Thank you. Next. Melody sends $10 and says, Kelsey's acquittal tomorrow means yours is next. #FreeTheTurtle. Yes, it's going to be the next great Massachusetts acquittal. That's all we do in the state is acquit defendants. Nobody ever gets convicted around here because they bring charges on the wrong fucking people all the time. It's crazy. Maybe they should start going after, I don't know, guilty people. Maybe that would help. Bobby sends $20 and goes, Defense Fund Free Turtleboy. Thank you very much, Bobby. Sends another $5. Bobby does and says, from a big fan in South Louisiana. Kelsey Fitzsimmons did amazing. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, folks. Marianne sends $5 and goes, gas money. Thank you. The price of gas right now, it's not going to get me very far. I appreciate that, Marianne. Naomi sends $5 and goes, I want Kelsey to know that I am so happy she's still here, sending her love and healing energy. I hope you heard that, Kelsey. She's very, very happy that you're here. So anyway, I got an early rise tomorrow. I'm probably going to go into court. Might as fucking well. I might as well go to court. It's a lot of driving. But I just, like, you're going to hear closing statements and then what? I'm going to sit around there all day? Doing what? I don't know. I guess I should see 𝗵𝗏𝗺. He is my lawyer. He flew all the way up here from New York. Very long flight. I'm paying for him to be here. I should at least meet up with him, right? We can go to lunch. Maybe we go to Chili's. See, 𝗵𝗏𝗺 likes steakhouses. I remember Karen Reed's quote, you try bringing Alan Jackson to McDonald's, but McDonald's is so good, and 𝗵𝗏𝗺 and Mazza are going. Well, now I got to go. Now I have to go. Yeah, I got to go. I got to see them. I got to talk to them. I got to go. I'll be there at court tomorrow. What am I? I'll be a little late. I got to get the kid, my son on the bus tomorrow. I'll go to that. I'll be there. We'll do it. Let's go. But take him to Kowloon. It's a little far from Saugus. A little far. Kowloon's in Saugus, right? It's on Route 1. Yeah. I've never been to Kowloon myself. I know it's like a staple of the North Shore, but I've never been. Courtney Kleiner trials next month. Bro, that is going to end in a conviction, by the way. That is another one of those that's going to end in a conviction. Come to Champions in Peabody. That's far from, not far, but near Lawrence, McDonald's is gross. Wendy's is a lot better. Chick-fil-A or whatever. Maybe we go to Chick-fil-A with 𝗵𝗏𝗺. Do you think 𝗵𝗏𝗺 eats at places like that ever? Like ever? Does he just see does he even know what a Baconator tastes like? I don't know. I feel like he's missing out if he doesn't. But we'll see. Mazza will be there too. 𝗵𝗏𝗺 was talking about that restaurant and Mazza's show last night. Yeah, he loves fucking steakhouses. Lawyers love steakhouses. They love steak. And well, they like when you pay for it, especially. They fucking love that. But I'm like, can we just go to Chili's, bro? I fucking love Chili's. I would love to introduce Bradel and 𝗵𝗏𝗺 to Chili's. Dude, bottomless chips and salsa. You never had salsa like this, dude. It's so salty. It's so fucking good. You're gonna love it. But anyway, anybody else got anything? Anybody else got anything? Am I missing any turtle chats? No, I think we're good. All right, I'm exhausted. I'm going to sleep, but we'll see all you guys tomorrow. Sex call tomorrow night. Tune in, and we'll see everybody else for the live show Saturday night. All right, peace to your bum crease. Outie.
Top down, riding down Main, it's a clear night. Screens glowing blue, got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺•cie and 𝗨𝗟𝗃, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city block. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 𝗬𝗄𝗃. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding in the reckoning gon' come. 𝗨𝗟𝗃 in the back room, 𝗺cie on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. True, got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the